thinking of
We're
with the
live.
porn with that one was there was one where the whole setup was like supposed to be the last big gangbang of this one porn actress's career, and
Super
was
live.
supposed to be. Sorry, we're talking about Chuck Palahniuk's
Just-
books, and I
just-
don't
We are
remember.
talking about
Which books did what happen in? Was
Yeah.
it Choke or was it? I thought
He's
they had another
only-
one called. Was it called Monster or what was the other one?
you're thinking of Invisible Monsters.
Oh, maybe I am. Okay.
Which
Is that another book of his?
Yeah.
I don't even know
Yeah,
that's
let me
phrasing,
see here.
but I can redeem it for free, so I
we are
will.
talking about
Um,
Queer Icon, Chuck Palahniuk and his whack ass books.
Snuff. The book was Snuff,
Oh, okay.
sounds
which
fun.
was also interesting, and was also a good book. But also very weird, and
He's just a funky little guy.
he's a really funky little guy.
So the moral of this is that a Fight Club held up as a film, but apparently the book was so. That's where we started here. Just to bring the audience in, right?
Y'all want to play some D&D? Let's play some D&D. Let's. I'm gonna railroad some shit for a minute. Here we go. So, well, we're live. We did it. That's the first thing. I'm always happy that occurs, and we're back playing some more Neverember's Enigma, which I did change the name. So good for me. I was have to double check to be like, is it the stream from yesterday? Nope. Okay, cool. So let's talk about a few admin things and then get going. We broke our goal previously for Rainbow Railroad, which is awesome. It was set at 1,000. It's now set at $1,500, and we are $15 Canadian dollars from that goal. So, if some valiant person wants to be the one to kick us over the threshold, that'd be a huge benefit to the charity, and of course, great for the players because they get advantage token points for every donation. But let's let that hang there as I kind of shill for money for charity. No big deal. Let's talk about let's talk about people. How y'all doing?
Pretty well.
Yeah,
doing pretty well. Excited after our cliffhanger last episode.
Yeah, we left on a pretty interesting note. Let's do a quick once around and kind of remind everybody who the characters are, and then we're going to dive right into it. No offsite location scene. We're just going to get right into this, unpacking this mess. Let's see. What did we do last time? We had an order of things. Orders are silly. Let's go with Julia.
Hello. Hi, I am Julia. I'm playing Lavinia Hale. She is a half-elf celestial warlock. She's got one arm and is a little bit mad about everything right now. She's hanging out with her, with her warlock patron, just having a good night.
Heck yeah. JD.
Hey, I am JD. In this game, I am playing Riv, who is just a normal human rogue. Don't worry about it. It's fine. They were having a really nice night. They were on a date. Unfortunately, that date has been interrupted, and we're going to see how they decide to handle that interruption. It's going to be fine. It always is with me.
Della.
Hi, I'm Della. I'm playing Kima, B, and I am a gnomish wizard. And I've had a great night so far. I've had 2 whole pints of beer, and I am going to. I'm stalking my friend. I'm guiding shepherding. Shepherding is that Volo? Do you think that's weird? Anyway, I'm hanging
I
out
don't
with
think it's weird.
Volo, and we're following my friend to make sure that their date is not a skeeve bag.
Every grand adventure needs to be chronicled.
Exactly.
And of course, Bedlam.
Hello, I'm Bedlam. I am playing Brindle. Brindle Fallow is, he's just trying to get by in this crazy city. He's moving some boxes tonight, or at least, that was the intent. left a party early to go get some work done. He's going to pay those bills, but it's going to get a little easier now that he just made 10 gold pieces for letting some guy just kind of go on his way. Seemed fine. No big deal. But apparently there's another backpack, and he's very interested about that. So we're going to see where that goes. And there could be no possible repercussions, just letting somebody go and getting paid for it. Yeah.
Not at all a
Really?
bribe.
Not at all a bribe. Is that? No, that can't be right. A bribe? Nah.
And lastly, myself. Hello, I'm Andrew. I'm a storyteller. I'm trying to turn this into some sort of story that functions and comes together in a good, fun, hopefully wholesome, and enriching way. That's it. That's all I got. Let's just unpack all the madness, shall we?
Let us do the thing.
Let's do the thing. Oh, I don't have our sweet Disney prince up here.
Right.
There he is.
Right? Rainier.
Yes,
Yeah.
Rainier, the charming swordsman / dancer.
Incredible dancer, impeccable dancer.
Impeccable dancer.
So I think the thing that's wonderful about dance is like you can be truly good, but if your partner is also very skilled, then that is really where the magic kicks in. So if I recall correctly, both of you had like near, if not above 20 performance checks on that those dancing roles or those performance roles. So you're all killing it. But yeah, let's kind of set the scene a bit, shall we? I'm gonna pick up with Brindle, actually. I'm gonna give Riv a second to think about. Well, I guess I'll reframe the last scene and then give Riv a second to think about what they want to do. So, of course, having this wonderful romantic evening, walking down to the docks, right? You saw in the Discord the map, kind of where you all are ish. If you didn't, it's in there just for funsies. If you're playing along at home, the map is always fun. But after some drinks at the Yawning Portal, heading down south to the dock ward to see the rehearsals for Fleet's Wake, right? And it's the festival that's going to happen next week in Waterdeep. It's a big deal. There's a lot of ships that get decorated, and they do both, daily races. They do a few mock battles. They have open expos for people who just want to get on the ships and look around, which is always fun. And then, of course, the big crowning thing is every night they have a boat parade accompanied by like fireworks, music, and it's a big to-do. But of course, you can't just get a whole bunch of boats lined up and hope to God it goes well the first time. So they start doing rehearsals a couple days beforehand. And for those who are willing to stay up kind of late and see that, they can catch the boats in the harbor, some lit up, some not. But it's a very pretty sight to see just all the different themes and lights and colors and effort that was put into these kind of things. And that's where we find Riv and Rainier kind of sitting on a bench close together, watching these lights, talking about the different things that they're seeing as a group of individuals dressed in dark clothing, kind of mask covering their face, right, walked up and said, Rainier, Riv, we don't know who you are. We don't care. You can beat it. We're here for him. And point at Rainier. So just pause on that to kind of think about what you want to do. Brindle. So you got a couple odd things happening, right? You get this like weight of 10 gold in your hand. It feels nice,
I think it's in my pocket by now.
That's a good point. Yeah, you got that in your pocket. You got a manifest still from like the rest of the shipping containers that are in this warehouse. And you have Hagen, who kind of grumbled a little bit about, who the heck that guy was, and it's kind of gone outside and taken a lap around to make sure everything's still solid and we can continue to work. And he says, hey, get the rest of the boxes that we need, get him set up here by the freight door so Felix can move the cart around when we give him the word, okay? If you don't hear from me in the next 10 minutes, just leave. Walk out the back, head west, take a loop around, make it like you're going for an evening walk. Nothing else to see, right?
Sure. Okay. Wait, which boxes? Which boxes were they again?
You have the list with you?
Yeah, I got a list.
There you go.
Is this the list? I have 2 lists.
he looks at you like you don't have to make this complicated, right? It's the first 50 boxes.
Yeah, okay, yeah. This one's longer, so it must be the shorter one. Yeah. Okay, all right. There we go. Cool. Yes. Got it. I got Hagen.
All right, I believe in you, kid. Hey, if somebody that's not me comes back here, just ghost out, all right?
Yeah. Sounds good. Yeah, I'll have these boxes moved. No problem.
Okay.
Cool.
And he goes out to take a quick look around to make sure, the nice night's not being disturbed.
Yeah. So Brindle's like, oh, man, Hagen, he's always skipping out on work. I know he just doesn't want to lift those boxes going for a walk. So he starts moving the boxes, but actually before he dives into that, he does start keeping an eye out for this other backpack that guy, this mysterious guy that came out last time, seemingly like apparently out of like a barrel. And grabbed his one backpack and then was muttering about finding a second backpack. I let him go, but I'm really interested in finding that second backpack that he was looking for. So
go ahead and make an investigate check for me.
Heck yeah.
You got his manifest, right? It's got a couple. You notice that there are 3 different serial numbers that have been. Two serial numbers that have been circled, right? When you look at the first one, it's the barrel that has already been opened and had a backpack removed.
That was it's not the best roll. Let's just 8 straight up.
Okay. It takes a little time. You find it, right? It's conveniently stacked, a little more accessible. You don't have to move a barrel or 2 before you get to the one you're looking for. Here's the problem. When you look at it, it's been reinforced, right? It looks like everything else has been kind of sealed to be just pried open and like put straight to work, basically. This has some sort of like weird tar or adhesive that's been like slapped on it to make it a little more difficult to open. You could definitely do it, but not with your bare hands.
Yeah. I kind of look around because I'm trying to think of like some guy that just climbed out of a barrel. How would he get into this thing? Because I don't remember him carrying a crowbar on him. Did he?
He had a backpack full of something.
Well, okay, maybe he did. All right. So I'm gonna look around. I'm gonna see what I might be able to find to open this thing up while Hagen's still doing his check around.
Okay.
See if I can find this thing before he gets back.
It takes you a little more. Takes you a little more time to kind of just look around for some tools, but eventually you do find a pry bar, right?
Oh, cool.
Like that's a good thing about being in one's warehouses. They have a lot of stuff for breaking these kind of things down, right? So go ahead and make a strength check for me as you go to pry this thing open.
Okay. Oh, yeah, that's nice.
That's a nat 20. Okay.
Yeah.
That'll do it. Boom! Just pops right off. Cool. Inside there is another bag that was left behind.
Awesome. I don't want to take too much time, so I'm going to try and squirrel that away, kind of on me. Can I kind of put it on without and then maybe put it under? So, what am I wearing? Let me think about this. What's in the bag? I'm going to open the bag and take a glance in there and just see if it's something I can pocket or something. I don't want Hagen to notice the bag.
Okay. Inside the bag at a quick glance, you find it's pretty well organized. And, the first thing you notice is there seems to be this parchment rolled up, sealed with like a little wax crest. Looks like a very expensive paper, right? On top of that, you see there is a envelope that has not been sealed shut, but it's just kind of been folded over and tucked in. There are two what looks like vials of liquid. As you kind of go to examine them, the liquid actually changes color in like almost one of those LED fashions of like it's blue and then like slowly shifts to green, slowly shifts to yellow, right?
Okay.
And then there's like a small box, and as you pop the lid and look inside of it, you see a variety of organized things, kind of like strapped down by little pieces of elastic, right? And it's like a small file. There's some like uh, long metal pieces with like different shaped hooks on the end. There's a small mirror on the back of the box. There's actually an attachment that has almost like an adjustable rod on it.
Would I recognize these tools, perhaps of a certain trade?
These would be 100% be thieves tools.
Yeah.
Right. There's a pair of narrow bladed scissors. There's a pair of pliers in here, and at the bottom of the bag is actually a pretty hefty metal grappling hook.
All right. Well, just first thing is, he's excited. Brindle's very excited to find these things. These are extremely useful. And these are things that he would probably own if he had more money. Which I guess he does have enough money now. But the biggest thing here is there's too much stuff in it, and he's not going to take anything out of the bag for now. So he's gonna zip, or not zip, but close that bag back up. Maybe rolled it so it's as small as possible without crushing any of that parchment. And he stashed away that shirt that he borrowed from Riv earlier. So I think what he's going to do is kind of wrap that shirt around it and then tuck it. So he's kind of carrying the whole bundle as kind of like a large pouch, but is he'll just wave it off if Hagen notices, whatever. So it's it's the stuff I was carrying underneath that shirt the whole time. So anyway,
Yeah,
because it's darker. The shirt's darker than the backpack, and it's just prepping up for what might happen in a warehouse. So
of course.
obviously, this is just me being prepared as a profession who does know what they're doing and isn't terrible at their job. So yeah, okay. So once that's done, I'm going to go back to just moving those boxes. I'm going to seal that barrel back up, maybe put it back where it was, and yeah, get those boxes in place. So
Okay. Yeah, you managed to hide this as best as possible in your person. There's a few other things in that bag as well. There's small pockets, so you just haven't had a chance to dig through. But
as he's doing this, Brindle is going to have the foresight, I think, to mark off the boxes that he's moved from the master list that was given to him by Kemp.
okay.
So he knows which of those boxes are now going to be missing for Kemp.
Fun fact: the barrel you just moved, not on the manifest.
Yeah. So I'll just put that back where it was. No big deal. Whatever. We'll just kind of ignore that for now. Or I mean, it kind of makes sense. So yeah, but he does want to kind of keep track of the boxes that are being moved. So
Absolutely. And you get back to moving the boxes, which is just slow and sweaty work. But hey, you got what you're looking for. We flash back to Riv, right? What's your first reaction when hearing that?
Well, the first reaction that anyone else sees is Riv reaching for Raynair's hand and saying, "No, I don't think I'm going anywhere."
That's actually very funny. So, uh, Renair, as this happens, like actually goes to stand out very quickly and is almost caught by surprise as like you kind of grab his hand and he like stops and looks like he looks honestly got grateful. um, and then turns and looks back at the group and is like, You all picked just the worst night. Can we? What do you want? And the one in front is interesting. They're all kind of, like I said, wearing like some sort of face covering, some kind of hoods, darker clothing. The one in front is actually wearing like an honest to god like plague mask, plague doctor mask. Um, yep. And they just say, well, simple. Your money, your wallet, jewelry. And if you're sticking around, point at Riv, yours too. Hand it over and walk away.
Or what? There is an implied or what there, isn't there?
I'm just saying, people die down here all the time. City Watch can't be everywhere. And Renair just looks at Riv, looks over at them, is like, oh. Look, it's 25 gold. It's all I have in my person. Just take it and go. Tosses a bag towards him. And one of the other lackeys like steps forward and grabs the bag off the ground. Starts, you hear the clinking of coins as they're going through it. And the one in front just says, it's a good start. What about the necklace? It's gold, right? Hand it over. And Riv, you feel like Renair's hand like tighten on yours, and he's like, I won't be doing that. Take your money. Please leave. And then there's just that moment where everyone's just standing there staring at each other, and you can see like with this group, hands slowly going towards their belt for like the attached swords and daggers, right? You can see everyone's just kind of staring back and forth.
I have something I would like to do watching this scene.
I say you absolutely can see this happening, B. And Volo's like, oh wow, okay.
I'm going to cast message.
Yep.
I'm pointing from the shadows at Riv and say, so I have hi, this is B. I have a spell I can cast that will make it so these people will not be able to catch you. I can only cast this twice. Do you want me to cast this spell on you and your friend? So you can run the fuck away from these scumbags? Also, I followed you. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna pull up the grid, and this is just I think this is fun, and I think it's good for reference. So please continue.
Incredible. You know what? I will roll deception to see if Riv is able to hide their expression when this happens.
Please do.
And that is a dirty 20.
Okay, yeah, you don't even flinch. Take B and put you over here.
So remind me, with message, can I talk back?
You cannot. Actually, hold on. I think you
Yeah,
can.
you can. I think I have to be in eyesight. What is the freaking what's
The range
the
is
best
120 feet. Let's see, but
yeah, what's the best website to use to look up spells? Because I
uh,
googled it
D
and Google is useless.
and D Beyond is good. 5e Wiki is good. Let's see.
Yeah, what's free? I'm not paying money for D&D Beyond.
Oh, it's free. I don't pay money for that.
Oh, okay.
I don't. Yeah.
They can reply in a whisper that only you can hear. There is no other thing aside from line of sight. So theoretically, if you can send a message, it can be received. So
Does that mean like no one sees Riv move their mouth in the group?
So here's the thing. I will ask for a deception performance or a sleight of hand check of some type, because they don't hear the message, but they will see Riv talking. And because you have to whisper the message back. And in a world where somatic components for spells are a thing, or sorry, verbal components for spells are a thing, that could freak them out. They may not have any knowledge of how spells work. I don't know, but it's a thing to consider as you are replying.
So I think then Riv does choose to reply instead of just like nodding towards B, and B, you just hear them say, "That sounds good, but something that causes a spectacle would be better. I want them to be afraid."
Cool. Go ahead and give me a deception, performance, or sleight of hand. Your choice.
That is a 16 for deception.
Okay. Real quick.
Ooh.
All right.
Wait, hold on. Expeditious Retreat has a range of self. It is
It
not
does.
something I can cast on another person.
Oh no.
That is not something I knew before I did this, and that would have changed how I do things, what I would have said. Because
I just like the
Kima would
idea
have
that
known
B.
that.
See, I just like the idea that B is convinced that she's broken the code to be able to cast this on someone else, and like legitimately meant that.
That's what 2 pints of beer does.
You know, that's not a thing. How close are you to the? You're like right by the dock, right there, aren't you? Um, let me see here. Da, da, da.
I'm just looking a little bit closer at this plague doctor
That's
motherfucker.
60
I don't
feet.
like him, Andy.
Oh, you want to? Here, let me blow up the image for you.
I don't like him. No.
Why are you using that guy? I don't like that guy.
Oh, that's a very specific reason.
Mm,
The rest are
I hate
generic.
that.
The rest are generic thieves, but that one in specific there's a choice for that.
I don't like him.
It's just a
good.
costume. It's Fleet Week. You know, it's just a costume. It's no
Yeah.
big deal.
Yeah.
No big deal.
NBD. I'm
NBD.
sure.
So where is my?
Okay.
Don't worry about those things. So
So I don't know. I'm a first level wizard. There is no universe in which B actually thinks she can do that. But I think she can make a big distraction for them to run away.
okay.
And so that might have been more like what she said, because there's no universe in which she would have forgotten that Expeditious Retreat is something you can only cast on yourself. Which is unfortunate, because that would have been really cool.
What do you want to do? You got you're in the thought time, so you have the time to think through your choices.
So
I like this idea.
yeah. So that would have been what she offered instead, was like, I can cast a big illusion, I can make a big spectacle, and I can make a big spectacle, and you can run away. I can basically give you some cover. How's that sound?
In which case, Riv's response was, "I like that. Let me scare them first. Then you come in with that."
Sick. I'm gonna get in range.
Heck yeah.
Okay.
All right. So again, there's that moment of you get about 5 seconds, call it one action, if you will, before things are about to get heated. You could see like Rainier is slowly reaching for his sword, like with his offhand, like kind of tucking that necklace a little deeper into his jacket. Right. You can see the rest of these jerks are also like eyeballing each other. They're like looking back and forth, kind of hand slowly moving towards their swords, looking at their leader for like the signal, you know, and it's about to get weird. But you got an action. What do you want to do?
And that's the moment where Riv, who draws themselves up and they look taller, and maybe they are the slightest bit taller than they were a moment or two ago, because they're not that tall. Um, they're of maybe low average height. And they just shake their head, staring directly at Plague Doctor, and say, I wouldn't do that if I were you.
Oh,
You
why is
don't
that?
know. You don't know who you're dealing with. And then they just raise their hand and wait to see what B does.
Okay.
So B, meanwhile, while they're distracted, needs to double move
You have an action.
to get in range, and then is going to cast minor illusion to wreathe Riv in flames, and prestidigitation to make it like spark and sputter, like casting. I want to try casting the two spells, and just make a basically like fireworks coming off of them.
I'll give you one.
Cool. Minor
Because
illusion.
all right. Cool. So you're gonna move. Where do you want to move to?
I want to move to. I don't know if you'll be able to see it if I click. Nope. I didn't. Why is that there? Go away. Can I grab here?
Right there.
Uh,
Yeah. There you go.
sorry. I want to move to like here. I think.
Volo just scampers behind you.
Yeah. Here, so I can duck into this alley real quick.
Okay. Very cool. So go ahead and describe the illusion that goes over Rib. You cast.
So I think they're gonna what they would the thieves see is as they draw themselves up and become a little taller, a little more leaner, a little more intimidating. Uh, their eyes start to glow, and as I said, they sort of erupt in these wraith-like blue, blue and white flames, just like all around them, like in this inferno. Uh, and I'm gonna, if I can catch Rainier in that illusion too, sort of just with like ghostly just ghostly eyes on him, so that they're both like kind of in this like it it looks like what people who've never seen a warlock would think of like a warlock powering up would
Okay.
look like.
I like it. It'll work on Riv. It will not work on both of them, but that's
Okay,
fine.
that's fine. I'm really focused on Riv. I don't
Yeah.
really care what happens to the other one, but
Hurtful.
Riv liked them, so
Um,
he'll.
no, very cool. You do that. You also turn and look over at Volo, who, in a matter of about 5 seconds, has just captured this entire scene in portrait in his journal.
Hmm.
And there's a like strange sparkle that comes off the journal and actually flows with your um, illusionary magic. And Riv, you take a point of bardic inspiration for a d6. It's like, yeah, think Riv's got this. You know? Okay, so Riv, you like light up on flames and like start to look way more intimidating. Cool. The rest of the group does take a step back at that and kind of reassesses what exactly it is they're looking at. The plague doctor does not move and just kind of looks at you and goes, well, let me ask you this. Do you want to throw an intimidate check?
I would love to.
Yeah. Ooh.
I'm going to add my bardic inspiration to that, and that is
Okay.
going to be a 21.
21. Ooh, boy. Plague Doctor also takes a step back. And just goes, all right. Right. You know what? No reason to overreact.
Oh, this isn't me overreacting. You'll know when I'm overreacting.
I got to roll insight real quick.
That is a 21.
Rolls are on fire. Everything in like the rest of the thieves are like they're ready to cut and run, right? The only reason they haven't yet is because the boss is still there, right? Everything in the boss's body language is telling you they want out. And like they are definitely a little thrown off guard by just how intimidatingly epic this encounter just went, right? But just it honestly seems scared of running too. And it does take another step back though. Yes. Look, it's in everyone's best interest that you hand over the necklace and then we go. All right. You don't get hurt. We don't get hurt. And we all just continue to have a nice night. Okay.
You have gold. That's what you came here for. I wouldn't get too greedy if I were you. There's no shame in running. Say that this is all we had. I don't want this to get ugly. It doesn't have to.
One of the lackeys is like, boss, I don't think this is a good idea. He just shut up. All right. Well, you enjoy your night.
You as well. I hope our paths do not cross again. For your sake.
And they slowly move back down the alleyway away. Rainier looks at you and just goes, all right. Nice.
The fire, as soon as they walk, they're like gone, like the fire disappears.
So, didn't know you were a caster. That's pretty cool.
Oh no, that was just a little stage magic.
I love it even more.
useful in situations like this.
Yeah, I mean, if this is how you do tech at the Eclipse Theater, I cannot wait to see this show.
It is quite a spectacle.
I think we should get out of here.
Unfortunately, I think we should as well.
I think that nice night until then.
It can still be a nice night.
Good point. Yeah, let's enjoy the walk back. I'm just gonna kind of just take your hand and start walking away from the docks.
And Riv is going to wink in B's direction.
So I should not follow you at this point, right? I should stop following. Okay, cool. Yeah, all right. Cool. Sorry about that. Yeah, cool. Bye.
Okay, very nice. Seems like crisis averted for the time being. Rindle, is you're as you're working your way back to like finishing up with all the boxes, Felix has come around at this point. Um, Higgins come back and is like, good. He like moved 2 boxes. It's like, let's see, that's what teamwork gets, right?
Yep. Sure thing, Hagen.
Yeah, the 2 of us together, we just crushed that job. All right, let's get everything on out of here. And you like everything's on the cart. You start to roll out. You see, kind of ghosting down one of the back alleyways. It's just a group of 6 dudes in like dark outfits, with one of them wearing like a plague doctor mask, and they are just like bickering in whispers at each other.
Well, I wave to Hagen to like hold up before we bring the cart out. Like, make sure they go by, first. Don't want to draw any unwanted attention. And then Brenda asks Hagen, "Oh, so do you need any help with the unload, or is that it?" Like,
Nah, Felix can take care of everything on his end. We're good here, but we'll wait for whatever that is, and we'll get out of here. You smoke?
I like
Right,
money though.
more for me then. Lights up a cigarette. He's like, yeah, just let me know when they're gone. Go ahead and roll perception. Because you're like, there's kind of like listening and tracking these guys. They flee off into the night. God dang!
Woo! something with dice tonight. Wow. So
all right,
nat 20. Cool.
sweet. So you hear this bickering back and forth, right? What you catch. Oh, this is a good piece of information for you all to have. Is they're all pissed. They're all pissed that they gave up this score, right? They're all like, oh, "Why would you do this? Like, you cut and run. We could have taken him." Another one's just like, "Did you see that? Like, nobody said there was going to be magic involved. Like, that's a whole other level of preparation we weren't ready for." Okay, yeah, we knew what was up with Rainier. We didn't know that he'd have some like weird magical, I don't know, date or something. It's too many variables. It's not worth the risk. And someone else says, I mean, hey, we got some money out of it at least, 25 gold. That's nothing to scoff at, right? I mean, that's going to cover a lot of expenses. And you hear just a smack and a clatter of some coins, as someone else just goes, and the voice is slightly muffled. So, you don't get it, do you? Boss said get the necklace. We didn't get a necklace. He doesn't give a crap about 25 gold. We gotta fix this. We gotta fix this before he finds out. Because if we go back empty-handed, he's gonna kill us. And like everyone kind of gets quiet. It's like, Yeah, so enjoy your gold. I'm gonna figure out how we fix this fuck up. We need more people for next time. And then you hear it like they start to drift off down the alley, a little scrambling as someone picks up what sounds like dropped coins. And then take off.
Interesting. So Brindle's able to put together that. I mean, he knows Rainier. They met. He knows that things seem to be going pretty well between Rainier and Riv. So he puts a couple things together there, at least enough where I think he does. Maybe says a quick. I'll catch up with you later to Hagen, and maybe follows the group for a little bit at a distance.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, where are they going? Who are they working for? This is neat. Like, what's going on there?
So Hagen, is finishing his cigarette. He's like, hey, you know what? Job's done. Your part of the job's done, so you're good. Hey, give it. Call it 72 hours. We'll meet at the cafe again.
Okay, Hagen, sounds good.
I'll get you. You'll get your money.
Cool.
And thanks for your work. Oh, okay. Bye.
Jump before he loses him, heads out. He's like, all right, I can get the money from him later. In a few days, He's
so spry. Just imagine being young again. All right, Felix, let's get out of here. He hops on the back of the cart, and the two of them just take off. B, you see the cart leaving with the two guys just smoking with a bunch of barrels on it out of the warehouse area.
That's nothing to do with me. So
Nope.
I'm going to have a minor panic attack at Volo. Like, oh my god, they're gonna think I'm such a spaz.
Oh, that was incredible.
They're gonna think I'm the worst.
You
They're gonna
used
think I'm such a flake.
what? No, you used magic to diffuse what was clearly intended to be a violent situation. That was one of the best uses I've ever seen of minor illusionary cantrip in probably quite some time.
I appreciate that, but that I still kind of I did kind of follow my friend on a date, and I really shouldn't have done that. That was really not cool of me. I I'm gonna have to apologize, but I think I should probably be done for the night before I do any more damage to my reputation.
No, that's a good point. Let's start walking back. We're probably better off at least walking together as far as we can. Who knows where those idiots went to, right? I'll say this though. You're right. You probably owe your friend an apology. And I'm not saying it justifies what you did, but at the same time, that might have been a lot worse if you weren't around. Something to think about.
That's true, but it's fine because it was fine. Is the justification of every shoddy builder in this city. Every time I go and see some heinous code violation and tell some landlord about how to fix their shit, they want to tell me it's fine. It's fine. It's like, okay, well, tomorrow it might not be fine. Just because it worked this time, I shouldn't make a habit of not trusting my friends' judgments. Maybe.
No, that's fair. I can't argue with that.
But
let's get out of here before things get weird.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, right.
Right. The two of you head out, right, different direction. Lavinia, you're getting close to the boarding house, right? As you turn a corner, you actually see two watch officers who are out just on patrol for the evening. You recognize one of them, right? It is a that's a good, yeah, Alistair Helsing. Wow, really? Yeah, why not? I put a name generator on roulette, and that's what they landed on. Crystal Helsing. Good name.
Nice.
Here we are.
That has just extreme middle school self-insert energy. And I'm here for it.
It's only one L though. But
Well,
yeah.
that's even more so.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, they already seem like they're on a routine patrol. But yeah.
I look down. Lavinia looks down at where her buddy is. Are you visible tonight, or are you just?
I can be perceived or hidden from all manner of spectrum and perception.
It's fine.
Yeah,
it doesn't
just
matter.
fucking
I just want to know
grip
if I'm
it,
gonna have
rip
to
it,
introduce
Sorry,
you or
baby.
not.
we just got a donation.
Lock that down, dude. Shit, yeah, dude.
Sorry for
Crack
choosing
one
that
for the
exact
big
moment to do
boy.
that.
No, thank you for the donation.
That's goal. That's goal. Is it?
Hashtag gold, baby. 1,500. Hell yeah. You know what? That's worth a second inspiration point. Boom, for hitting the goal. Heck yes.
Nice.
Wow. But sorry. What was Lavinia saying? Because whatever it was, I was just drowned out by screaming in my headphones.
She's just saying, she's like, it doesn't matter to me if you are or not. It just matters if I'm gonna have to if I need to introduce you.
Would you like to?
I don't care. It's up to you.
I always like to meet new people.
Okay. Then she will just continue to walk along her path, knowing that she's going to cross by these people with this little golden elephant.
Okay. Yeah, two of them walking. They both kind of give you the whole like, good evening nod, and then yeah, it's canon now. Officer Helsing just looks back at you and goes, "Oh, Lavinia, hey,
Crystal?
how you doing?"
All right. Staying busy. I see you're patrolling.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh, this is Officer Frias over here. New
nice to meet
recruit.
you. Ah, nice
He
to meet you.
kind of sheepishly just, hey. Uh, cool. Friend, pet.
Not a pet. Not a pet. This is Advar.
Hello. Oh, hi.
It's a holophant.
Oh, wow. How'd you come across one of a holophant?
I almost died.
Right.
So
Is that?
that's him.
Oh, wow. Okay. Huh. I'm glad to see that's going well. How you seem really doing well. I like your outfit. That's really cool.
Oh, thank you. Yes.
Like a party.
Yes, one of my roommates is working on a project with Volo, and we all went to an evening with him at the Yawning Portal.
Nice. That sounds fun.
It's different having nights off. It's kind of strange. I'm still getting used to that, honestly.
Yeah, it's one of the things I both like and hate about patrol. Right? I do feel like I'm doing something useful, but it's rough on the social life. But you know. Anyway, great running into you. Any word if you're gonna get back on the street?
We'll see. Right now they've got me doing cold cases, but if things continue to be as crazy as they are out on the streets with everything going on, they might not have a choice. So,
No, that's very true. Uh, any cases in particular that you're working on that are fun?
fun per se. Cold cases are
Yeah.
kind of depressing by
Yeah.
definition. But you know, the stuff about, oh, what is their name? Name is right there in the front of my brain.
You talking about the Black Viper?
Yes, that's the one.
Okay.
I wanted to call it Grave something for some reason. I was like, that is not correct. Yeah. So it's like, you know, the Black Viper case has been the most interesting thing I've seen going through the bins, but
Huh. Okay. You know, if I don't know if it helps. I know one of the officers who responded to the most recent break-in, the one that would hit the papers.
really? Yeah.
Yeah, at the at House Filand, the whole Dragonheart necklace, like
Hmm.
whole mess. But well, not necessarily a mess, right? It was actually very cleanly done. But yeah. So if you ever want to talk to them, just let me know. I'll put you in contact. If it helps, it helps.
Certainly, yeah. That definitely would help. Even if it doesn't go anywhere, I still got to put it down for the record. That's yeah. Well, thank you. This was nice and awkward. I'm going to take this creature and go.
Yeah. Enjoy the rest of your night. Good seeing you.
You too. And good luck to you with your new recruit.
He's getting there. Come on, rookie. Let's keep going. And the two of them just head off down the road, around the corner, out of sight. That's fair. I mean, Lavinia's hanging out with like a bunch of famous people and like nobles and all this other stuff. There's a lot going on there.
Yes, but I have one correction I need to make.
I saw that afterwards. Yeah. I almost made the same comment. I'm like, I don't want to rub it in.
Solid.
Nice.
Okay. Brindle,
Oh, yes.
you're gonna pursue this group.
Heck yeah.
All right, they're kind of weaving their way through some back alleys.
I will surely go the way that they went, just to scope out whether or not they got all of the gold that they dropped on the way back. just
They
to make sure,
go ahead and make a quick investigate check.
Oh, heck yeah. I think that's just 8. I don't think I have anything extra for investigation. I do not. Just 8.
Nah, you go down the alley, take a quick glance around, like no glittering gold on the ground. Seems like everything was hastily picked up. There's like a bunch of like finger marks in the dust as people kind of grabbed up the spilled coins.
Yeah. All right, I keep on my way. Yeah.
All right. So you start heading down these back alleyways, kind of following. You can hear their voices occasionally. You can kind of just hear the clanking of their gear, right? It's all pretty well muted. But there's only so much you can do for 6 people when it comes to like boots crunching on stuff, cloaks wishing in the wind, even the occasional like clink of metal gear on belts happens, right? Go ahead and make me a stealth check. And then I'm going to.
What is
Good
happening,
lord.
Bedlam? Jesus. 3 nat 20s?
I'm just flinging
Listen.
the thing. I'm not even like, oh man. All right. This
Listen.
is.
This either is a sign of good things to come, or it bodes
Oh, I'm sure the pendulum will swing. It's bound to happen.
All right, that's a solid
Would
way.
you like to know the total number, or
Oh, hell
is
yeah.
20, or is
No.
20 good enough for you?
No, fuck me up, Flex. What's the full number?
27. That's a 27.
Ah, let me. I'm gonna roll for all of them just to see. That one, 8 came close. Oof. All right.
Ghost-like.
Just like indeed. All right, so you follow them out of Jewel Block Alley, right? And you start heading down Gut Alley, which is north, right? Runs parallel to Snail Street on the map. You manage to avoid detection, right? There's no one else out here. It's dark, right? It's quiet. Makes it very easy for you to kind of stealth your way through things. Yeah. You kind of hang back on Gut Alley, let them walk. They take a quick cut into a smaller alleyway, right? You lose sight of him for a moment. Down Lyra's alley. They're around the corner. And what you hear as you're getting closer is the sound of something heavy metallic being moved.
I'm pretty confident that they are not at all detecting me. I'm having a good night. Things feel good. I'm stepping the way I want to step. I'm moving the way I want to move. I'm not making any noise. I'm going to try and get as close as I can to figure out to see what that is. What is that noise?
Okay. Give me a perception check. Killing it.
19.
You remember the time that you robbed the shit out of the CEO of a major metropolitan New York company by rolling just crit successes one after another in that pulp game?
Wait, did we?
Yeah.
Okay.
You broke into John Medham's office and then proceeded to rummage through his personal stuff. And I was like, apparently no one can stop you because you rolled 9 crits in a row. And I was like, I'm just gonna let this happen. This is fine.
My luck varied a lot with that character, but yeah, sometimes.
Very similar situation. I love it though. So you're kind of paused at the intersection of Gut Alley and Lyra's Alley, right? Kind of next to a shack, kind of slapped together house, right? Definitely not up to code. B would be furious to look at this place. And you're just waiting to go around the corner because you can still hear some whispering. They're close. And the whispers start to die down. And then eventually just disappear entirely. After a few seconds of just listening and straining and not hearing anything, decide to take a look around the corner to see what's going on. At that moment, you see nothing. Empty alleyway. Trash. Boxes, sure. Debris, but no people. But your eye catches as a part of the actual alley stone cobble floor slides and becomes even with the rest of the pavement.
Whoa. Neat. I just want to make sure definitely, but everybody's all gone, right? Like this seems interesting. I'd like to get closer, but I want to double check and make sure they don't have a a place like this. They might have a lookout, maybe posted constantly. So I'd like to kind of double check before approaching the where the cobblestone slid up, before I fully go around the corner and start, poking and prodding at it and maybe taking a look at what it is. Can I see anybody who might be keeping a watch out?
Go ahead and roll one more perception.
Okie dokie. It'll be a dirty 20.
It looks clear.
Okay. So I slide out there, trying to keep a low profile, and yeah, kind of take a look at that whole cobblestone situation, and see what I can find out. Like, where does it go into? What building does it seem to go into? Does it go underneath? Does it go down into like underground? Like, kind of what can I tell about this whole thing?
So as you're looking at the cobblestone, basically it would be almost impossible to notice this if you were not actively looking at this specific piece of road, right? But as you go and look, it looks like there's just been like about a 3x3 section of cobblestone that has been cut up out of the main road itself and then effectively put back in place, right? It looks like if you have the right tools, or I don't know, maybe had some additional insight into the situation, it could just be lifted right up.
Interesting. Okay, I'm not going to pursue this any further at the moment. Yeah, I think what I'm going to do is.
Sorry, you said it was a dirty 20 for your perception?
Yes.
You also notice on the alleyway, right? About halfway up one of the houses, a looks like a rather large builder's nail has been like hammered into just the concrete, and hanging from it is a tiny, looks like a bell, the kind of bell you'd ring for like tea almost, tied up there with looks like some very fine wire.
Okay, so I because of my previous perception roll when they went around the corner, and I was trying to kind of like get close to them as they were entering. Did I hear a tiny bell sound just before they went in?
You did not.
Well, curious. Okay. Okay. Just making some notes about that. So I think for the moment, Brindle's gonna back off. He was curious about where this would go. Obviously, there's something here, but B would certainly have a better idea of this cobblestone situation and kind of what might be going on here. He's also really curious what happened with Rainier and what who he assumes was Riv, because that must have been an interesting scenario. And I hasn't heard anything about what might be going on with Lavinia. So I think he's gonna start kind of backing off, making note of where this is on the corner of Gut Alley and Lyra's Alley, and marking where not marking, but remembering where this is. And then he's gonna start kind of heading back toward the house, the flat. He's going to take a roundabout. I'm going to take a roundabout way, though. I'm going to start going the opposite way down Lyra's Alley. Down, what is that? Watch Run Alley. And, just kind of back down toward Adder Lane, and then kind of, going back toward the dock ward and then around again. So yeah.
Little circuitous route.
Yep. Just in case. Slightly paranoid. You know. There's
Good
some
move.
interesting things happening here.
Okay, and you kind of, with that information in your head, skulk your way off into the night, right? Lavinia, Riv, and B, um, you all get back to the Good Times boarding house within about 10 minutes of each other, right? Lavinia, obviously, you're first, right? You're the closest. After that kind of awkward conversation with an old acquaintance, right? Um, you're back in through the door, and immediately Sousa slams into you with a very friendly greeting, starts purring and fluttering immediately for attention.
Kind of like lift her up with my one arm and hold her and look down at Advar and be like, "Are you gonna come in and play nice?"
Every time I have food, this infernal creature tries to take it from me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy to share, but it never asked.
This is her house.
And I suppose she can have one of my apples.
Very sweet.
And like just trunks out an apple towards Suda, who just starts clawing at it.
Lavinia will take them into the kitchen and sit in there with them for a little bit, I think. Get herself something to drink and sit at the table and watch them.
Okay. They play nice for the most part. Although occasionally Oddbar is just like asking Suda questions, and Suda's just like, I'm not here for a conversation. Oddbar's like, I don't understand why you talk to me. This is something I've done.
We're both Celestials, just level with me.
Like, what is your deal? And then shortly after, Kima, you make it back. You and Volo eventually part ways a little ways down the street, and he's like, "Okay, uh, I'll get back to you in a few days. I've got the initial draft. I'll get the permits for the City of the Dead. I'm going to write up everything we talked about tonight, or as much as I can remember, anyway. And then we'll move on to the next chapter of our research. This has been a phenomenal start, though, so I'm looking forward to what happens next."
Yeah, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. I'm really looking forward to getting some work done. It's gonna be really cool. I'm gonna uh do some more digging into some of those resources that Silas pulled up. Um, so yeah, looking forward to hearing from you. You have a great night.
You as well. And he, of course, saunters off to go home. Riv,
Lavinia,
Yes? In the
Scotch.
kitchen.
Yeah. Uh, B walks in and is like, okay, so turns out Guy was not sketchy, or at least was not sketchy to Riv.
I feel like there's
They
a but.
they did fully get mugged by like 7 guys though.
6,
6.
20.
Excuse me?
Yeah, oh yeah, like 6 guys came up and were like, "Give me your fucking necklace, give me your fucking stuff," and they said no, and so I did some magic and I think I helped, but also, uh, yeah, now they Slick knows I followed them.
See, I told you nobody's that good at stalking. People know. People
I
will find
would have
out.
it would have been really it would have been good, but I didn't want to I didn't want to cast a spell on them without their permission. And so I had to ask permission, and so then I had to yeah, you're right. I should have listened. You wearing your I told you so face. Advar, is she wearing her I told you so face?
It's hard to tell. That tends to be her default expression.
There's tea.
Thank you.
Vinia is wise beyond her years.
That is very true.
Would you like an apple?
I'd love an apple. That sounds fabulous.
Just-
Just catches an apple.
Nice shiny gold celestial apple.
mhm.
Just the best apples.
The most golden of golden crisps. As you were kind of settling in, Riv, you Rainier make it back to the boarding house, and Rainier was quiet through a lot of the walk, and just mostly kind of looking around and making sure that you weren't being followed or anything else was going to happen, right? And coming down the street now has kind of relaxed. Now you pointed out that like, oh, that's the boarding house. That's where okay. He says, I do want to thank you for earlier. That was just a mess of a situation. And the idea that, I mean, you could have just left and you didn't. And I appreciate that considering we just met and you don't owe me that or anything. And I thank you for your help is what I'm trying to say. I, yeah,
I don't think that anyone deserves to be left in a situation like that.
you, you follow the news, I assume. You know how my family is. I tend to get left in a lot of very bad situations. It's nice to have somebody actually stand there with you when something goes wrong.
Well, I think you deserve that, Rainier.
It means a lot.
And I
You
do
know,
it again without hesitation.
he's just sitting there searching for words. I think you don't even have insight to see this, right? There's just genuine appreciation, right? As Rainer just takes a second, gathers himself, and just says, "I know it seems silly to just be willing to throw down and fight over a necklace, but truth be told, it was a gift, and yeah, there's no way I'd be able to replace it. The value is honestly minimal. It's just the sentimental piece is far too important."
You don't have to justify that to me, Rainier. I can understand why a person would care enough about an item that they would be willing to fight for it.
You were willing to stand up on my behalf. I figured you should know. Uh, If it was just jewelry, I would have gladly handed it over to move on, but it's not. Anyway,
If I may be so bold, who was it a gift from?
my mother. It's she. Sorry, reading the comments. Um,
Oh, what a day!
oh heck,
What
a
lovely
raid.
day!
Oh heck, there's so many things happening right now. Hello, Raiders. Welcome. We are playing some D&D 5e heisting. We're not heisting right now. We're just stealing hearts. Let's go with that. Is that what's happening here?
This is a dating sim.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
You gave us eligible characters. We are romancing them.
I mean, why not? You know, that just seems like the right move to me. Oh, hey, thank you for the follow. That's always nice to add to the gathering of people. I guess I should put the what do you call it, socials and stuff in the chat, the links. So but yeah, hopefully you are all having a chill night. All right, I have to close my note tab. Oh no. Shoot. What's Rick feeling right now?
We're not going to talk about what Riv's feeling. They have too high deception for us to talk about that. They're feeling a lot of complicated emotions in this moment.
That's fair. What feeling is Rick projecting at the moment? There we go.
Interest.
Okay. Interest.
Affection.
Okay. Yeah. I got my notes back up. So Rainier just says, my father was always focused on politics, and that was all he really wanted, which is fine. You know, having a political era comes with that drive, but it didn't mean I was, you know, we didn't have the best relationship. It was just kind of a call it an obligation. That's how it felt anyway. I felt it with my mom. She was actually just genuinely cared about me, my aspirations, the things I wanted to do. She didn't think it was a waste of time or silly to, you know, learn new things that were not politically focused, you know, to just live life and pursue my own goals. And that was something I didn't get a lot of.
She
So
sounds incredible.
she was.
Thank you for sharing that with me, Rainier. You didn't have to. As I said, I understood why someone would not be willing to part with an object. Now I clearly understand how much this necklace means to you.
He shakes his head and just says, "Sorry, I'm kind of kind of a weird way to end the night, huh?" I had a thank you. I had a phenomenal time, honestly, and I'd love to come see your play, and I would love to see you again.
I would very much enjoy that as well. This is one of the best nights I've had in a very long time.
Same. So even with the mugging, no. And I think he just yeah, I think he just stands there for a moment.
Listen, Riv is willing to be the one to initiate.
Mhm.
They will 100% lean in to kiss him again. And as they draw back, just look at him with some concern and ask, will you be safe getting back to your place tonight?
He considers the question. Says, "Yeah, I think so. I think if they're they would have to be idiots to try to do the same thing twice in one night. I think take advantage of how much you scared them and get home and get safe."
As long as you're sure. I appreciate you walking me back here, but I also would not want you to be at risk.
I'll send you a message when I get home.
I'd like that.
Kind of like reaches out and like squeezes your hand and says, "All right. I'll see you later." Starts walking down.
This is the man I have chosen.
I'm disappointed in you. I thought you were going to date that hot actress.
Who knows? I
Could
might
be
date
both.
both of them. Riv has 2 hands.
Good time for a break. No, I love it. But we should take a break and reset as Riv heads into the house to kind of catch up with everybody else. Brindle will show up in like another 20, 30 minutes.
Brindle's side questing.
Yeah, Brindle's doing his own thing, like, which I appreciate.
Brindle's
But
having
Brindle's
a great night.
side questing, but unintentionally main questing really is what
Mhm.
ended up happening here. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do appreciate the whole like, what's this over here? Trips over the plot. Oh shit.
Weird.
Huh. Who put that there? Yeah, we'll be right back in 10 minutes. Don't go anywhere. Yeah. Welcome. We're back. I was gonna say welcome back, but I'd just be welcoming myself back. You know, welcome back to the experience. That's what it is. The shit show. The Seasons of Secret and Shadows Waterdeep edition. Is that a
Waterdeep romance simulator?
Waterdeep romance? Like it from the heart. Now it wasn't supposed to be it. You know, this is why I don't do romance on screen because it's always terrible. It's like deep emotions, and I saw Della's face, and I was just like,
are we talking about feelings boners again? Is that
yeah, that's the one.
that
You know,
going
like what's
on?
that thing where like
deep ones?
yeah,
We're gonna
like what's the one where I've got like I'm done. I'm moving on.
we're gonna hold hands and cry about it. Okay, it's fine.
No, I was saying if I'm ever, this is mostly for the audience because I think all the players know this in some way, shape, or form. For whatever audience we have, 9 million followers. Like when I do romance, usually I'll be like, "Hey, this person's romantically interested in you?" Question mark. And then that said like, "Hey, player, you have an option here. Do you want to pursue romantic interest? Yes or no?" And then the player goes, "Yes, I'm interested." And I go, "Okay, cool." And then usually the next couple interactions are less awkward because now I'm like, this is a romance that we are building together. Whereas the first ones, I'm just like, they gotta stand there awkwardly, waiting to see what you do. I go in for the kiss. Okay, cool. That's what we're doing here. Like, so if it comes off as awkward, it's probably me, but it's also probably that way that it is played out to make sure that as Della walked in, people aren't just getting licked in the face randomly. Because I don't think people like that. That's weird.
I went to college, Stuff
Fair enough. I did attend a couple of those parties and can confirm things got weird.
Washington College be like that, baby.
Be like that. So Riv, B, and Lavinia have all returned to the Good Times boarding house. You can hear in the lulls of conversation that occur in the kitchen. Riv, as you come kind of walking in, you can hear snoring coming from upstairs, right? Good old Madam Ethelwhite occasionally snores some or saw some intense logs while she sleeps. But outside of that, the house is quiet. But Rib,
B looks
you're
if
home.
are you coming into the kitchen?
They are.
B looks like as soon as you come in, B looks like the a dog that got into something that you left on the counter. Like absolutely just like almost comically like I did a bad thing.
I have a picture for this.
Like oh good. Like
Please continue. I'll find the photo.
hi Slick, I'm sorry.
And I think it doesn't help matters that like Riv walks in, crosses their arms over their chest, and looks very stern.
I should not have followed you. I was drunk and Volo told me some shit and I shouldn't have listened. I know better. That was dumb. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have done that. I'm glad I saved you. Well, I'm glad I cast a spell that made it less likely that those guys would stab anybody. But just because it worked out doesn't mean it was the right thing to do. So I'm sorry.
I appreciate that it sounds like you had my best interests at heart. But I would rather that you didn't stalk me when I go on dates. It makes them a little awkward, especially now knowing that that could happen. Like,
It's
that gets really awkward.
it's not going to happen again. It's not going to happen again. It's not. I I swear on any deity you choose to name. Oddvar. I swear on Oddvar.
He's not. He works for one. He's not a deity.
Oddvar's boss. I swear on Oddvar's boss.
Tier.
Tyr.
I can notarize that agreement.
I bet you could.
I think.
I don't think that's necessary. I trust B's words. No, thank you for helping out there. I did not expect some strange person in a plague doctor mask to try and rob us.
Yeah, what the fuck was up with that?
I don't
Plague
know.
doctor?
Yeah, does that mean something to you? And Rib seems to realize that Lavinia's sitting there and that they're talking to her.
It's fine. Lavinia hasn't pointed out yet that she almost asked if you lost that stone, and then she decided better than to say anything.
Lavinia, go
Does
ahead
that
and
sound familiar?
Lavinia, yeah, you can go ahead and roll a this would be a knowledge history check.
It's gonna be a 17.
Okay. There are reports of multiple different kind of low-level attacks that have occurred throughout the city, probably in the last 3 months that you've seen, that have been associated with someone who wears a plague doctor's mask. Um, there is there's one witness report that swears, mind you, it was nighttime as a person was running through the back alley, but the mask got knocked off. It swears the person had a beak. So the lead suspect is currently a Kenku, or potentially a I'm sorry, what's the other one?
Eric
Oh
Okra.
god, thank you, Eric Okra. One of those two. But that's the most you've seen on that.
Um, I know some of it in that's kind of a gig he's got going on. Um, has cropped up a few times so far. Smaller stuff, though, not murdering anybody, so I can't really say if
And I
can't
mean,
really
I'm
say if you
sure,
need to worry about him coming back.
hopefully we do not. And I'm also sure if there were more things that you knew about this, Lavinia, you wouldn't exactly be able to tell us. Official police business and all, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
Are you kidding? Cops gossip like crazy.
Do they?
Oh yeah. Have you ever been to like a cop bar? You buy someone a drink and they'll tell you fucking everything. It's amazing.
B, why would I go to a cop bar?
I don't know. I'm not entirely sure why I went to a cop bar. It
I
just
was
seemed like
about
a
to
good
ask
idea
you.
at the time.
That doesn't seem like your scene either.
I don't know. Yeah,
I
that's
could
fair.
see Brindle going to a cop bar.
I could see Brindle accidentally going to a cop bar and
I don't
fully
even.
not realizing.
Brindle walks in. Wait, what? What would I do?
Walk into a cop bar and not realize it was a cop bar and just be really confused as to why everyone there was wearing uniforms.
Oh yeah. I mean, okay, yeah, I can see that. Okay, no, that's fair. That's
Like,
fair.
Have you
I
done
mean,
that?
Brindle lies and says no.
Was it on purpose?
No, I can totally see it. I've never done that before. And he changes the subject suddenly. So hey, what happened after the party tonight? Were you guys down by the docks?
That's
Me?
specific.
No, but and then Lavinia gestures with her hand at B and then at Riv. I just came home, but these two.
I mean, okay. Oh, all right. So I might have come across. I went for a walk after the party, you know, and like I came across these. There was a group of pretty like out of sorts folks, and they were complaining about Rainier and some guy or somebody that was with Rainier who might have been casting some magic. They seem pretty upset about the whole scenario. Something about maybe their date or something. He looks at Riv.
Yeah, I believe the exact words were weird magical date.
Yeah, there we go. That's right. That's right. That was it. That was it. The weird magical date.
The best gender weird magical date.
There you go. So yeah. Like a weird magical date, apparently. So I don't know. You seem to be hitting it off with Rainier earlier, Riv. So I thought maybe you did you all go down to the docks tonight? Was there like an after party? Like
I don't know who you have to be more worried about in this relationship, the tabloids or your roommates.
Apparently.
I, but you know,
what? I just came across some folks that were talking, and they just seemed like they might have been a little upset by something that happened, and I'm just really curious to know, like, dang, like, what happened?
We put on a bit of a show.
I kind of, yeah. So Volo and I decided to make sure that Rainier wasn't like a scumbag and wasn't going to be like a shitbird. So we decided to follow them, and that I know that that was wrong. Uh, but then so when it got looked like it might get violent, I cast a spell that would make them maybe think twice about attacking my friend.
Oh. Oh. Okay, see that makes a lot of sense. By the way, they were like really intent on getting this necklace, I guess. They were really bent out of shape about that. Where they were like trying to take something from Rainier. Anyway, the whole thing seems to be like somebody else. Like they're working for somebody who's really intent on them getting it. And they're worried about going back to them. Like they might actually like fear for their lives if they didn't get this thing. They were pretty out of sorts. Like I don't know what happened down there or what Rainier has, but dang, they are pretty intended on it. Anyway, I followed them. I found where they went. It was a lot of fun. So there's like.
I'm sorry, what?
There it is.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I was in the neighborhood anyway, and that sounded, kind of important. So I just, walked after them. There's this cobblestone thing. I don't know how it works. We might need some help, like figure out like how this thing works. But like they just like disappeared into it. It was wild.
Huh.
Yeah, there was like what, 5 of them, right? One of them. Okay, so 6 of them. And Brindle has night vision, right? With or low. Is it low light vision? How does the elven, half elven vision work?
It's just dark vision. They took out low light vision.
Would he have seen the medicine mask or the what's it called mask?
Play Doctor Mask. Yeah, that stands out.
Okay.
So especially with those roles, I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So continuing on babbling as Brindle might do sometimes. Yeah. It was like this one guy. It was he seemed to be like really intent on telling the others what to do. He had like this mask on. It was like one of those plague doctor masks. Kind of bird thing. It's weird. Yeah. I don't know. Anyway, if you guys want to check out where they went, like I know where they went.
Can you draw the cobblestone thing for me?
Oh.
Like if I got you a parchment and a paper, could you?
I mean, there wasn't a whole lot there. It was like this square on the ground, and it looked like the cobblestone kind of like lifted up. Like it must have been down because I just barely saw it kind of like going back into place. I could not tell what might like open it or what it was or where they might have gone under there. I don't know. But like you seem the right person to ask me. I don't know. Plus, it sounds like you all like ran into them already. So, I like. What kind of show did you put on?
Oh, I made it look like they were like on fire and had glowing eyes and scary, spooky shit. So there's this thing you can do with
Cool.
compressed air cylinders to lift heavy things for you. It'd probably be easier to do it by magic.
I couldn't hear anything. Are they loud? Oh, by magic.
Not necessarily.
I
Not
would think easier just to go
necessarily.
check it out, right? It was on the corner of. Where'd my map go?
I don't know.
Lear's Alley and Gut Alley. Like it's over in that area. Like,
Yeah.
we can always go check it out tomorrow. Right?
Yeah, let's do that tomorrow. I need to be less drunk before I do most things. And also, I don't want to get knifed.
Yeah.
I have lived a long and happy life not getting knifed.
Yeah, plus there
Knifing
are
is
like
a
6 of them, right? Like I'm
Right?
so impressed that you made
Problem?
them all like scurry away. They were so distraught. They're very like kind of panicky actually. So
There's probably
That
more.
intimidate roll was very high, and the counter rolls were very not. it was solid.
There's probably more than just 6 of them. Like I was saying before you came in, that guy's been running around for a little bit, and he's been getting kind of like progressively more uppity and more aggressive with his
wait, so you know him too?
I know of him. Yes, he's been on the Watch's radar.
Oh, also a fun fact on your role. I told you things you know, but also something that is uh, being worked through. They don't think he's part of the Zentarum. Like
He, yeah,
all the actions, just none of it matches like what the Zentarum is currently doing in terms of like escalated violence.
and that probably makes people a little bit nervous because the last thing they need with the Zentarum escalating violence is a potential rival moving in on their area. So
Right.
yeah, so he's like, it's yeah, they're in Zentarum territory doing Zentarum things, and the Watch is very nervous about that too. So turf wars, Brindle. I'm talking about turf wars.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right, so, I don't know, like,
They were fixated on the necklace. Yeah?
that's what they were griping about.
Oh. You should probably let Rainier know that somebody's like after that specifically. I assume he knows, but like that it's like they asked him. I heard them ask him to take off the necklace, but it didn't. It seemed like it was like opportunity at the time.
Yeah, someone should let him know. I suppose I can let him know the next time we talk.
Yeah.
Get a vibration on that sending stone. Just says, "Ping, home safe."
And you see Riv reach into their pocket, take out something that they're just kind of keeping hidden in their hand and smile,
I did not give
and then
I
put it
want
back
to.
in their pocket.
Does Brindle know what that was?
I know what it was. I handed it over.
But this is
Oh,
a different one.
That's
Yeah,
the
I
second
have
one.
two now.
Oh,
Mhm.
sorry, it's not the stone or anything like that, but it's more the look down and smile sort of smile. It's like because Brindle just grins.
Aw.
Heart eyes emoji, live in person.
I think as everyone kind of like starts chuckling and winding down for the night, right, getting ready to go sleep off the rest of the water deep bombers that were consumed, all the good complimentary amenities from that sweet party, people start to call it a night and kind of pan the camera back out, move away from the good times boarding house, and back towards the dock ward, a couple streets over from where that whole mess went down. And Brindle would definitely recognize this figure, having burned his face into his memory. The dark-haired, kind of pale-faced um, gentleman, he hand, and then pulls himself up over a ledge onto a rooftop. He's just muttering to himself like, gotta replace a bunch of shit, but you know what? Fine. Hardest part's done. Gotta find that idiot. And he takes off his backpack and starts rummaging through some of the pieces and pulls out a forked branch. Proceeds to just sprinkle a little bit of fine powder on it and mutter some arcane incantations. And it floats above his hand as he holds it, almost like a compass needle, and spins and points directly towards the Good Time boarding house. He goes, All right. Packs his stuff back up. Proceeds to continue across the roof on the moonlit night. All right. Next morning. Change the date. Next morning starts off a little slow, right? People obviously just have work, right? Lavinia digging through some more cold case files, although you have the opportunity to dig for a little more information now that you're back at work. You know, B, obviously doing a little more research, get prepared for your excursion with Volo, right? Brindle, you gotta circle back with Kemp.
Well,
And
I
Riv.
gotta make a legitimate trip down to the harbor. Yes. Yep.
That's true. Riv, you've got rehearsal again. Hopefully by this point the fire marshal has cleared the theater and Roberto will be back to his usual nonsense. Also, one thing for bookkeeping. Brindle, I sent you a list of stuff that you have a chance to dig through, and I assumed you would when you got back to your room, right? So I sent you the list of the stuff that was in the bag. Anything specific you have any questions on as you're kind of digging through?
Yes, although I'm not sure Brindle's going to be able to answer any of these off the top of his head. Or you know, okay, so he comes across.
I can tell you the easy one. So the envelope, right, as you kind of going through that and you pull out the documentation. Where is that tab I had open? I have too many tabs on this desktop. The envelope contains 2 tickets to a private gala at the Varkenbuff Museum of Natural History.
Neat. Are there any names on them?
They're not. They're blank.
They're just to the bearer of.
And it's dated for 20 chess. 2 days from now.
So I mean, Brindle's not trying to keep anything super hidden. So I think it's fine to describe the scene here, where
go for it.
he starts going through the bag and taking out each thing individually, and kind of like in his room, laying it out on the floor in front of him. So he finds this envelope with the documents inside, the 2 tickets to the gala. Does it say what date it's for?
20 chess.
2 days from now. All right. So. And he pulls out a couple of these are the multicolored kind of color changing things that you were describing that were glowing in the bag. That was one of the reasons he made sure to also wrap the backpack up with a shirt around it, which he really needs to give back to Rib at some point.
It's a nice shirt.
So these are 2 multicolored potions. These 2 bottles. There's 2 of them. There's this weird gel. It looks like it's amber colored, I assume. What kind of container is that in?
It's in like almost like a Tupperware container. Don't quite have plastic, but it's in like a
glass, probably, right? So,
yeah. It's about the size of maybe a tennis ball.
Oh, okay, all right.
Kind of just like
weird amber gel, like kind of like it's not too liquidy. It's kind of slowly moves.
It's like Play-Doh.
Bottle of small hairs. That's really interesting. Can I tell like what kind of hair? It's like head hair, arm hair, nose hair. What am I?
The skill doesn't get used enough. Roll a medicine check.
I was gonna say dog hair, human hair. All right, here we go. Oh, that's not on par with what I have been rolling. Do I have any medicine? 10. All right, 10 total.
You're not sure. Out of 10,
Okay.
like human, maybe.
Color? What color are they?
Like a kind of a dark brown black.
Okay, I kind of wave my hands at it. Neat, fun. I set it off to the side. It's something to think about. The tool set, which I'm very excited to own now. So now I finally have some trade tools. Grappling hook, I'm very excited to have, and a scroll. Is the scroll kind of labeled as anything? Is it in a language that's discernible to me?
It is. It's got an arcane rune kind of on the wax seal, but it doesn't make any sense to you.
Okay.
I'll buy if Brindle wants to roll Arcana, but it's just not his thing.
Yeah, I mean, let's give it a shot. Say Arcana. Yeah, it's straight up 14.
Okay. Give it definitely magical.
Neat.
What
Okay,
specifically it does, you would need someone with a little more arcane knowledge to break that down for you.
Yeah.
But on that 14, you'll also note that the weird gel and small hairs could be components.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Interesting. All right. So, all right, Brindle might put it together. Possibly these are the components that would be needed to use the scroll. He doesn't really understand so well how scrolls work, so that's fine. All right. So yeah, this is fun. This is a neat grouping of things. Does he happen to know where the gala is going to be? Where is it going to take place?
The gala is up in the North Ward.
Okay.
Pull up the map, I will tell you where.
Yep.
The gala is actually the museum is beneath the statue of the Sword Maiden, which is like right off of Silmore Street. Very nice part of town. A lot of stuff is kind of built to accentuate that statue.
Which street was that again?
Sulmore Street, Sulmor. If you look at the Sword Maiden star icon, it's like the street right above it.
Yeah, I was just Sword Maiden didn't come up in the search drop down. So anyway, yep, I got it now. Neat.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a very nice part of town. Like I said, that because remember, Waterdeep has just crazy like 100-foot tall statues around the city. So the Sword Maiden's one of them, and like all the buildings that were around there, the gardens, everything are just kind of built with the idea that they're trying to like make that statue look even more grand and kind of design that whole thing around the fact that there's just this giant colossus there. Most of the areas with one of those large statues tend to be pretty well built up with that design in mind.
And you said this was at a museum?
The Natural History Museum.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
All right. See, a swank part of town, at a gala, at a museum. This seems pretty fancy, but interesting that it would be in the backpack that I got from a stowaway who came out of a barrel with a lot of thieving tools and a grappling hook and some other stuff. Like, this is an interesting mystery that I am probably going to try and make my way to this place in a couple of days. But I mean, I might need some help on this. Find out what's going on with this scroll and the gel and the hairs and these potions.
Yeah, and like maybe one other person to go with you legitimately, and two others to enter not so legitimately. Mm-hmm.
Who knows? I mean, are we heisting something? Perhaps that would be interesting. Wow.
Well,
It'd be crazy. I mean, if you want to do that, I've got some maps we could use.
The thing is, like, whoa, what are we going to be stealing? Why is it here? What I do know, or can infer, maybe, is that somebody else is planning to steal something from there. A person who I came across, and I am curious what they were up to.
Who reads the paper? Who reads the paper daily?
Brindle probably does not. He has read some of this, but he probably does not read daily.
Okay. I'll mention it if it comes up in conversation for the people who follow the news. Anyway. Okay. Yes, everyone's kind of getting together, getting their morning coffee, tea, getting set up for the day, right?
Haymaker, do you want me? When are you going to be free today? Later today.
Brindle is in kind of rough shape. He's not used to being up this early in the morning. He
Didn't you used to be a farmer?
Yeah, his schedule has been very different recently.
He adapted hard to city life.
last couple months, it's been a lot of night stuff. So yeah, he's not this is not his normal time to be awake right now, or at least not waking up. So he's looking a little rough. Going for some coffee. Plus, those what were they again? What were those drinks? Well, he had one of those drinks and did not want to have to tip the guy, and just kept going back for beer. So
I work for tips. Waterdeep bombers. Yeah,
the Waterdeep bombers. So yeah, he's kind of feeling it today. Yeah. So I'm sorry, B. What was that? What?
You had mentioned that the cobblestones, the like the trap door in the street.
Yeah. We
I
should
would
do
love.
that. I gotta go down to the docks real quick. There's this job that I volunteered for, this guild guy. I gotta go down there and just kind of make sure that everything's with his shipments and his ship, like everything's getting through the way they're supposed to. And then after that, then I think I'm good to go before I head up, because I got to go all the way up to the northward for the guild to find the guy and meet with him. So
right.
so probably sometime before then. So like maybe around like lunchish, I can meet up with you. We can head over there and take a look at it. Have you seen? Is Riv around? Is Riv in the room? Where's Riv?
I think Riv walks in like right then, just making a beeline for the coffee, averting their gaze from Lavinia.
We're back to this.
I'd like it to be that Brindle was also really intent on the coffee, but then got distracted by B, and then Riv comes in and goes for a beeline for it, and like gets the last of the coffee before Brindle like turns back around. Like he starts making another cup of coffee, or making another pot of coffee. Oh yeah, Riv, I've got your shirt. He hands yours. Thank you so much. Thank you for lending that to me. That was awesome. That was the nicest shirt I have ever worn. Felt awesome. And
he looks good in it, Brindle.
Thank you. Did you also want to come along for this cobblestone like adventure? We're gonna go around lunchtime. We're gonna go take a look at this thing and see what it's all about.
I think that.
Lavinia, do you want to come too? I mean, heck.
I might be at the theater at that point. We'll have to see what Roberto. We'll have to see how Roberto is doing.
I mean, first rehearsal starts at noon. You basically have tonight is your big dress rehearsal before the show starts tomorrow. So, but you got time in the morning.
I think that'll depend on exactly when we're going, but I've got to be there by noon.
Okay, all right. I'll try to hurry up down at the docks, because I just got a quick job down there. Hopefully, it won't take me too long. And then I actually have to head up to the northward too, to go to the guild. So that sounds like a good plan. Was Lavinia around down there?
Yeah, she's standing in the kitchen as well. And she's
I mean, heck, you want to come along too? I mean, there's that plague doctor guy like wreaking havoc. I guess I don't know. Like,
yeah, I suppose it would be irresponsible for me to just let you go break into this place and maybe get stabbed.
break in. We're just gonna go look at some cobblestone.
Yeah, we're not breaking in. I am a licensed inspector.
So you're just gonna.
I am just engaging in my civic duty.
You're just gonna go stand and look really, really closely at these people's front door.
I can do a lot
at the front door. Do these people?
I mean, we're not sure where the thing goes, right? It might not even go into a building. I mean, we wouldn't really be breaking and entering if it's not a building, I guess, right? I mean,
you said noon. You said noon.
We're gonna try and do it before noon, so it's it's a Rivez time.
For your own sake, yes. I'll be there.
That sounds like fun.
We appreciate you looking out for us.
Fun for the whole family. So
There's eggs on the stove. I'll see you later.
Have a good day, Lavinia.
You too. Good luck with the guy. Your director. Your whatever his name is.
Yes, Roberto. I'm sure he's fine. I'm sure he's fine after missing
We've gotten
all night.
we've gotten some calls about some very choice words that he said. Is this the same? Just out of curiosity, is this the same guy? Is this the same guy who threatened to burn your shop down if you ever bring that color green into my building again? Is that the same guy?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
I thought it was a lovely green. He did not agree. I respected his vision.
All right. Well,
Theater
you take
people
care.
are on another level.
I'm super
I
excited
say
about
that
the
with
show.
love.
Yeah, if I'm gonna meet you guys before noon, then I have to go.
Yeah, same. I got some research to get done.
Yeah, I gotta hurry up and get down there too.
Yeah, I should head over to the theater and make sure everything's in place, especially if I might be cutting it close.
All right, so I guess we'll meet in a sketchy back alley in the docks in a couple hours. Have a good one, guys.
Love it.
Okay, sounds good.
All right.
I think all Brenda wanted to do is go down there and make an actual appearance to
Okay.
check on the cargo, right?
Yeah. You go down, you make a good show of it, right? Give me a perform check while you're down there. I'll take deception as well.
Yeah, we'll go with
Solid.
that.
Solid roll.
Total is 23.
Yeah.
Dirty
So
23.
you get down there, you show your guild credentials, you talk to some of the workers there. Shockingly enough, they're a little concerned, right? So you get down there, you go to talk for the inventory. There's like 5 or 6 workers just kind of standing around looking at a manifest and scratching their heads, right? As you come walking up, and one of them looks over and says,
I got my sash on. I've got the official manifest in my hand. Walk up to them. There's one holding a manifest that I can see, and
"Yeah,
I greet them. It's like, hi, hi. I'm Brindle. I'm with the guild. I'm here on behalf of Camp to just do some double check with the inventory. Can I check can I double check the manifest you got there?
the one in charge has like just a big old handlebar mustache and is like a little portly, and he like kind of looks at you and is like,
shake his hand well. Yes.
he goes,
He looks like a handshaking guy. It's like,
yeah, and big like medium mitt kind of encloses your hand, and he's like, hey, guys, take 5. He's all right. You're from the guild. Listen, save you some time. There's some missing inventory. All right.
yeah.
Getting ready to ship out some stuff today, and turns out there's about 50 barrels missing.
Ooh, 50.
So yeah, not our best moment. Gonna have to add some security to the warehouse for sure. Gonna petition the guild for a little extra funding for that. But
wow. Well, do
yeah,
you mind if I do it? Because I just got to go back to camp with basically a checklist. So I just got to do like a comparison between like what's missing and what's supposed to be on the official manifest versus what we got on the manifest here. Just so I got everything in a row when I go back to them. Do you mind if walking through that with me?
Yeah, sure. And like he starts going through everything with you. He starts he gives you a copy of the manifest that he has. His name on there is Jerome Goth, right?
Jerome, go.
Jerome
Jerome.
Goth,
Hi, Jerome.
right? Um,
So first thing Brendan does is just a really quick eyeball. Like, do they look like the same list?
100% is the same. Is the
Okay.
same like list of stuff versus like this is all the stuff that was removed last night.
Okay.
Even
Okay.
even without like scrutinizing it, you look at the first like 10 numbers and you're like, yeah, okay.
Yeah. Okay. Mostly, Brindle was curious if there was also things going on at the dock. Like, are they also skimming off the top and taking stuff away, or is this entirely these interims doing? And if so, is he going to report this back to Kemp? And also, would he be reporting this to the Zentarum if the dock workers are maybe going outside their bounds? So this is what he was looking. This is what he was looking for. Yeah.
Got it. It takes you like an hour kind of comb through all this stuff with Jerome, who's just like, I don't understand. It's third time this has happened. It's been a whole mess, and it gets getting more and more bold. Like we're gonna have to get something down here because maybe station a guard or what it is or whatever. But like we can't do this. It's bad for the clients, bad for the guilds, bad for the city. And as you're like looking through these manifests, like everything else seems to be in order, right? There's no indication that like the dock workers are taking anything. Like uh, everything that's missing was because of you. You'll notice on both manifests though, like the additional 3 barrels were never accounted for, and it doesn't look like they've noticed that in the like stacks of other warehouse property, right? Because like for reference, you took like 50 or so barrels. Um, this warehouse can hold like 1,000, right?
Okay,
So
okay.
the idea being that like it is still full of shit.
I'm gonna add to this then. Brendel is not only not only a little feeling the alcohol from yesterday. He might be a little sore from moving 48 of those barrels, and what's his face only moving 2. So yeah, okay.
So it was a joint effort.
It's a joint effort, teamwork. So okay. Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go back and meet with Kemp today. Do you have any recommendations for how you want to beef up the security around here, so I can let him know?
I mean, yeah, easiest option. You gotta have to invest in maybe some bars and some better locks. More expensive option, get someone posted down here, right?
Yeah. I mean, we'll have to see how the guild wants to end up spending money, especially if Kemp's already losing money on the missing inventory. So we'll hopefully there's enough funds to set somebody up down here. But maybe it'll end up maybe adding better locks and bars will end up being a better solution economically. We'll see. All right, so.
I mean, whoever it was, they're coordinated, right? Like this wasn't some crime of opportunity, So.
Brenda looks around. Like, well, I mean, you mentioned extra security. Like, how are you locking this place up at night anyway? I mean, are you sure it was that advanced of them? Like, that coordinated?
I mean, it looks like they climbed into the window up there, so I don't know. It wasn't like there was a door open and just someone came in and took whatever they pleased, right? Like they put some work in to scale the building and came in. It looks like they unlocked the doors from the inside.
Oh wow, yeah. Okay.
So, at the very least, they had a pretty good idea of what they were doing. So, I don't know.
All right.
Like I said, bars on the windows, better locks, right? Keep people out.
Brindle makes a note of all these on the side in the margins of the manifest, his copy of it, and then like, all right. Well, I think that was everything that I came down here for. I'm gonna go make my report back to Kemp. Yeah, so, it's nice to meet you, Jerome. Hopefully I won't have to come back down here again, but it sounds like it's kind of a. What were the other 2 times? When were those?
Oh, I have to look back at my notes, but I'd say probably a month ago, maybe a month before that.
All right. Anyway, all right.
Yeah.
So.
No, I mean we already filed a report with the watch too. They said they would send somebody to come look at this as well. So, at the very least get all the paperwork validated for the insurance, right?
Cool. All right. Well, thank you. Goes, shakes his hand
Yeah,
again.
it got a good handshake. I like you.
And with that, Brindle heads back towards the wow, what's the name of our house again?
Good times boarding house.
Good Times Boarding House. Good times. Yep. Cool.
All right. Lavinia, as you get to work, kind of go inside immediately, go back to your desk, and start kind of digging through the new pile of paperwork that's just been kind of left there, right? Which that's become kind of a norm for you, unfortunately. Is there anything you want to do while you're here, though, and you have access to a whole bunch of files?
I mean, I think she pulls out the file she's working on for the Black Viper, puts that aside, um, to look at with touch base with Crystal about later. But then she goes digging around to see, uh, and this she probably has to go to a different part of the building to find. But she goes to scrounge up what she can about the guy with the mask, just to see if there's anything else she can find before she goes with Brindle and B to potentially the front door of his hideout. just a couple things, just in case, if there's anything like known associate,
Go ahead and roll
any evidence of
investigation
booby
check.
trapping kind of shenanigans. Will he stab as a warning? That kind of thing. Things that she needs to know. And then the only other thing I have is I do still have one specific cold case that you sent me that I was supposed to look at the next time Lavinia got to work.
Mm-hmm. That is on your
So
desk.
that's the one of the ones on her desk.
Yes.
So I will read that one eventually.
Okay. We actually do that right now. So what was your investigate? Let's start there.
Okay. So should I actually roll the investigation?
Yeah, please.
Okie
It's a fun game of like, I'm going to give you the information regardless. The question on the roll is how complicated it becomes getting the information or the complications that come from. Yeah, you know what I mean.
Investigation is a +2, so that is a 19.
19. Good roll. So you start digging through these files. Pretty much everything that you recall is correct, right? This plague mask person has mostly used threats and intimidation to be successful in their like mugging endeavors. There've been a couple times where like swords have been drawn, but it's been a very quick, usually preemptive strike of like taking down somebody who's a little more prepared and more armed. Nobody's ever died. They even in situations where violence happened, like people were knocked out, robbed, and then left and eventually recovered or were found by somebody. But in the assessment, it states that the lack of violence may not be altruistic, it's just not necessary. If they were cornered and had no other choice, they would probably resort to more ferocious means, given that they've like jumped people in alleys and stuff like that. So it's more of it's not worth the heat to be that violent. One of the other things you find on a 19, though, is one of the other witness statements from somebody who fought back against one of the people before they got knocked out described a tattoo that one of them had, not the plague mask doctor or the plague doctor mask, but another one of the like the goons, if you will. And there's a drawing of it. I put in the Discord for you. But what it looks like is a circle with an eye in the center or a dot in the center of some type, and then little spindles coming off like a sun almost.
And it's that kind of like red maroon color in his description, or is that just for the ability to be able to see it on a?
It's both.
Okay.
Um,
a little red sun with a dot in the middle.
Yep. And then the follow up on the report says no known usage of this symbol in the town. So they have not yet associated it to any group, guild, or faction.
Okay. I think she will kind of like copy those relevant parts down in like her own notes and then leave the file where it is before returning to her desk and her actual cold cases.
Okay. Do you still have the file I sent you?
I do. The one about poor Willis Sailstrom.
Mm-hmm.
He was an engineer, which that pings my interest because my roommate's an engineer. And so might bring up to B if she's familiar with them. And he was super stabbed. Signs of a struggle and an altercation. It's also an alley that people are like, from what I'm getting in this report, they're not surprised somebody died in this alley. The killer got very close, so it seems like they knew the victim knew them. And yeah, there was a witness who found the body when she heard she didn't see anything necessarily. She heard the fight. She says it sounded like a drunk argument. And he had been stabbed in the stomach. Somebody disappeared onto the roof, which I do pull over the Black Viper file because the old Black Viper did kill people.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just like, maybe. Escaping on roofs, maybe. Keep that in mind. And then I think by the time I get down to the end and I see who the officer in charge was, I'm just like, oh, fuck's sake. I don't want to go talk to him down in the trade ward.
Yeah, that's fair. I will point out a couple things. It's actually, for the rest of you, if you want to read the full investigative file, I put it in the Discord. But there are a couple things that kind of catch your attention on this. Is that there are parts of this file that are redacted. There is a couple pieces where it says, Mr. Salesrom, who was the dwarven engineer, he was killed. They found dirt consistent with the type of dirt and that's their location's redacted. Follow up at that location showed no disturbances or break-ins, but again, location redacted. And a consult with the Blackstaff Tower magical liaison, name redacted, suggests that a redacted spell was used on Mr. Salstrom but did not take effect. And then the person that closed the investigation, their name and signature was also redacted. That happened on 13 chess, so 5 days ago.
The fact that this is already a cold case is insulting.
Record time.
Alarming. Makes Lavinia very suspicious. And seeing Adven's name down there at the bottom, she's like, well, why the fuck did he allow this?
Mm-hmm. The standard is a minimum of 3 months, and that's usually pretty rare. It tends to be closer to 6. So 5 days, it hasn't never happened, but it's not common. So as you're digging through all of that, here's some footsteps and a very tall, very well put together half orc that you recognize kind of steps up to your desk. The captain rank on his shoulders in his uniform. And Captain Brem just says, Lavinia, good. See you're getting through this paperwork in record time. Listen, I know you said you wanted to try to get back out on the streets more.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got something that I think you might be interested in. Now, per policy, we still can't put you out on patrol, but
Right.
I spoke with one of the watch offices over at the dock ward this morning. Apparently, there was a break-in warehouse, and they're looking to get a watch officer over there to take the report and make sure everything is good. Right? I know, it's not exactly what you're looking for, but if we can get if we can show the rest of the board that you can get out there and still do what you need to do, I think that helps to build a stronger case to get you back on patrol.
Hey,
You don't have
yeah.
to do it. If you got other stuff, that's fine. This is technically their jurisdiction and their problem, but options open.
I mean, these are cold cases. They're not going anywhere without me, right? So I think I can take a detour to go help out another department. And
Okay.
actually, while I'm out there, there's a couple other errands I might run down a couple of other leads that might have found for some other cold cases. I'll already be out there, right?
Yeah. I don't see a problem with that. Just make sure you document it. That's all.
Yes. Of course.
Yeah. Okay.
Um,
If you have any follow-up questions, I'll let Captain Torkelson know that you'll be out there. And other than that, do what you have to do. And if you need any additional help, just coordinate with them.
it sounds good. Just in addition to that, if you could also let Captain Ilrel know that I will be coming by the trade ward district at some point this week. I have to talk to him as well.
Oh, for official business?
One of the cold cases.
Okay. Yeah, I'll let them know. Which case?
Oh, this one that came through this morning. The Solstrom case. I actually,
That was a bad one.
yeah, I know some people who are members of the Masonry Guild, some engineers. I was going to speak to them, and then I would, of course, follow up with Captain Ilvrel.
Okay. Yeah, I'll let them know that you'll stop by sometime. I'll say sometime this week. That way you have a little flexibility.
Right. Thank you. I'll just go then. You said the dock ward?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's the Wallflower Warehouse.
A lot of things happening on the docks right now, I guess.
Yeah. Well, luckily it's not as bad during the day. Good luck.
Gonna gather my stuff up and get out of here before anybody stops me.
Okay. You're on.
do I pass Brindle leaving the dock?
I think timeline-wise, you probably would. Or at the very least, is Brindle's kind of like wrapping up and is like, oh, okay, well, sign all the paperwork and I'll take this off to the guild. You turn, you see Lavinia in her watch officer outfit or uniform coming up to the dock, and Jerome's like, all right, got the watch out here, good. Hey, I need you to verify this missing. We had a break in last night and just verify this missing cargo for insurance purposes.
Yeah, sure, no problem. And she kind of like looks at the docks, and then looks at Brindle, and then just like
He's got the sash on. He's got the manifest in his hand, and it's like, hey, Lavinia.
Yeah. You recognize the Grocers Guild sash?
Yeah, this is the job I had to come down to this morning for the owner, for the warehouse owner. He's part of my guild. There's things have been disappearing recently from the warehouse, and we had to double check the manifests and see kind of what was going on. So what are you doing down here?
I'm here to take the statements.
Oh, cool. Oh, okay. I mean, I've got all the information right here.
Is that the manifest?
Yeah. No. So I've got the two. We've got the two manifests right here. Doing the comparison between the two, and here's all the documentation on all the different barrels that were taken that are no longer on the within the warehouse from the manifest. Comparing the two manifests are the same. I was just actually about to go give the report to Kemp, but here, yeah, like here's all the info. I mean, does this help you? I mean, I just went through it with Jerome, but if you want to go through it too.
Honestly, I'm glad you two knew each other, because having to re-explain this all would have been a real hassle, because we're behind. So if you two have this, like, I'll do whatever statements you need, but like we also got to get cargo moving. We're about 3 hours behind from this morning.
I'll follow up with you after I take the statements.
Okay, much appreciated. If you need any of the workers, let me know. I'll bring them all out to do whatever you need to do. We gotta get stuff loaded too, because it's
wouldn't wanna get in the way, sir.
Yeah, we should be shipping by now, and we haven't even started.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll just.
Thank you, Jerome. Yeah. Here, that's awesome that we ended up at the same place doing this. Yeah, here you go. Here's everything.
Mm-hmm. So was this the part of the docks where you saw Riv and those guys?
Well, I never. Oh, what? No, I didn't see Riv last night. You mean the group that I ended up following? I mean, it was like
from the docks.
I mean, it was around here. Hold on. So he kind of gets his bearings and like looks around. So like, how far away were they? Where were they coming from? Where's the map? Let's see here.
So let me zoom in. So
what, Dock Street, right?
Yeah, so you were by Joelbuck Alley, and they basically cut up Gut Alley and then disappeared down Lear's Alley. But like, they came from Fish Street by the actual docks themselves. Close by.
So like I point over toward Fish Street. It's like, yeah, it was actually like not too far from here, like right over toward Fish Street. They would have come actually pretty close by here, I think.
But so then you didn't hear anything while you were here on the docks when you were taking your walk?
Didn't hear anything. Like, what do you mean? Like them with Riv? No, I didn't catch any of that.
No, I mean anything with this break-in.
Oh, here, no. Although
you didn't happen to hear anything with this break-in while you were down here at the docks.
There was a guy running from this area though. And he describes to Lavinia the guy that
who B also saw the long dark hair, the pale complexion. Like, yeah.
Hold on. Let me bring up the photo so I can do this properly.
The good old Brindle Swindle right there.
What?
I'm like, it's so strange. Lavinia's like, it's so strange that everybody I know was down here at the docks last night, right? While this place was being robbed, and you're like, good, I have a scapegoat for you.
How convenient. A scapegoat that bribed me and then I robbed.
I mean, the place where we're drinking wasn't too far from here, so but yeah, no. So there was this guy with long dark hair, kind of a chiseled jawline going on, kind of pale. He had I think he was carrying a backpack when he ran by. But yeah, no, he's definitely coming from like over in this warehouse area. Come to think of it, actually, I should go ask Jerome if he saw that guy.
I can
I
ask.
did not.
I can ask when I follow up with Jerome. That's fine. So you saw him
Well, I
running
do
away.
have to. I mean, Kemp hired me to come down here. I do have to. I do need
Okay.
to follow up with that, and at least report back to Kemp if there's somebody. What like I'll let you take lead on this, but like I just need to whatever the result is, I gotta write it down and like bring it back to Kemp. So yeah.
That's fine. I'm just saying you don't have to. If you're done with Jerome, I can fill Jerome in if you have to go talk to this Kemp person. So you think
Well, I mean, I just wanted to ask about if he saw the guy, but if you're gonna ask him, I just wanted to see if Jerome saw the guy, or if anybody he knows saw the guy. So.
you didn't speak to the guy, you just saw him run past?
Well, no,
Did
I
he?
didn't speak to him. It just you were asking where those people were, and
Mhm.
yeah. And come to think of it, yeah, I saw them not far from here. And then this is when the guy passed me, so I think he was actually coming from this warehouse, or possibly.
50 warehouses, 50 barrels from a warehouse. That's probably not a single person job.
No, yeah, I guess that's yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
that's true.
But maybe he
at
was
least
part of.
three.
Maybe he was part of part of a group. All right. Well, thank you for these notes and this description. That's a start with those men. Maybe when I see B later and Volo and Riv and all them, we'll see if they saw anyone else hanging around since everyone seems to have been here last night.
Yeah. Hey, does this mean you're off the desk duty now?
Kind of. I'm just helping out for right now. But I have been given
That's
permission to go follow up some leads on some of my cold cases. Um,
That's awesome. That's like you've been wanting to get off desk duty for a while. Like that sounds like it's great.
it is.
Brindle is genuinely like enthusiastic
I
about the
think
fact
Lavinia
that
is a little suspicious. She's not sure if you're just like fucking with her or not, but she's like, she'll take it in the spirit it's intended. Thank you. Yeah, it's good. It does mean that I will definitely be there for helping out with the cobblestone thing. I found actually since you're here, and she will show him the drawing of the tattoo.
the
Uh,
drawing that
the sun with the dot in the middle. I was looking through about more things about the guy with the plague mask before we go over there. This is one of his friends has a tattoo like this. I don't know if
oh,
you've.
I mean, it doesn't look familiar, but it was really dark out last night, so like any of them could have had it, right? So
I'm gonna pause you. Brindle, you have seen this before.
oh, I have.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
So, uh, you had a conversation. It was quick, right? Ones with Walter tend to be, where you had went to follow up with some stuff in his office, and he's a lot of things, but he's not organized, right? So you walked in, and he just had papers everywhere, and he was kind of suit like tie loosened, jacket on the back of his chair, coming through some stuff, trying to figure out something. You caught him in the middle of just burning a lot of brain power, and as you kind of just like knocked and walked in, or he was like, "Oh, hey, whoa, hold up!" Right, and as you walk in, he just closes a book on his desk, and as he was doing so, that symbol was one of the papers that you caught the attention of really quickly. Um, it doesn't look like it was part of the book. It looked like it was drawn out, and like he just closed it so that wouldn't be seen. Then like turned over a couple other papers as well. real quick, and it's just like, I don't know what they teach you up at the farm, but here you knock and then you wait for someone to say, "Come in," before you walk in, Brindle. How many times have we been over this?
Yeah, look, I just, I just needed to come and talk to you, and I know your time's valuable. I just wanted to get in and out, and sorry about that. I'm sorry, Walter.
No, I look, I get it. I said, hey, your family, your house is my house, but like, not literally. Like, you gotta. It's for the common areas, and in case you need a place to stay. Jeez.
All right. Sorry to interrupt your reading or whatever. Yeah. I just, and then Brindle goes on to explain something that he came in for. But yeah, like,
Yeah, he listens patiently, and after about a minute, it's like, yeah, hey, Hagen's got some work for you up north. Go meet him at the cafe and see what it's about.
oh, okay, all right. All right. See you, Walter.
Yep. Closes the door. Damn kid.
Brindle doesn't know how he would explain this to Lavinia, so he in the moment tries to hide the fact that he recognizes the symbol.
Do you want to try to suss that out?
I do want to try to suss that out.
Contested roll. Go ahead and roll deception versus insight.
Yeah.
I will. Oh, where's the?
Oh no. Of all my good rolls, this was not one of them.
Was that a 12?
I believe that is a 12. It is, yeah.
Okay.
Deception versus insight. You beat me. You beat me by 2.
All right. Poker face holds.
Just barely.
Mm-hmm.
Just barely. Okay. All right. No, I haven't seen that before. Like what? Did you say it was a tattoo? Like one of them would have had. Well, anyway, it was dark out last night. If it was a tattoo on one of them, I wouldn't have been able to see it. So
yeah, I just meant that like if you've ever seen it on like somebody like walking around, or if you knew what the symbol meant. Nobody seems to know what it means.
It's like a sun. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what that means.
It looks kind of like
Brindle probably never would have researched that symbol after seeing it at Walter's
Honestly,
office.
You probably forgot about it until this moment where you saw it again, and you're like, "Oh, hey, the very specific looking drawing that I recognize from elsewhere."
Got it. I will say this: Brindle is interested to figure out how he could lead Lavinia. He wants to help Lavinia. He does want to help her out, but this goes against his whole like self-preservation thing. So yeah, it's a difficult thing for him.
It's fair and valid.
Let's say right now, I think Brindle's playing it close to the chest, which I can respect. As you finish up here, right, and Lavinia, you take all the necessary reports. Everyone's very helpful. What Brindle has told you is accurate, right? He did a pretty thorough job with the inventory. It's a little tedious, but it's nice to actually be out in the field again, right? Even just interviewing people, having like going over to the coffee station, because eventually they offer you some coffee while you're there, and just kind of being out and not buried in paperwork is a good feeling, right? But very quickly, we're approaching the window where Rib has to be at rehearsal, and what I don't want to do is take moments from River B in the morning. So I will circle back to those, but I'm going to pull you all together so you can look at this piece of cobblestone. And then when we pick up next session, we'll go through what you guys did at work. I think that makes the most sense. So as the four of you kind of start realizing it's around 11, right? And you're going to have to take a break from your different day jobs, you all convene down that alleyway off Lyra's Alley.
Cool. I assume I just stuck with Lavinia in the meantime, right?
Yeah,
So,
I figure about it takes you like most of the morning to do all this inventory, so like it's like 10:40 by the time you're done.
Just two half elves investigating a warehouse.
We get
paperwork, yeah.
hmm
That's the advantage of the Zentarum. Not as much paperwork as being a up.
That's true. That's true. Although surprising
No.
amount that he volunteered for with the guild. Well, not volunteered for. He's getting paid. But yeah.
Yeah. So the four of you meet up. What's the plan?
Oh, I'm just gonna start looking at it. I'm just gonna mess with it. I'm gonna sort of like immediately walk up, and I should probably make a roll to see what I can see, shouldn't I?
Go ahead and roll investigate. And this one is important. So I'll tell you the DC is 18.
You want to use that advantage?
Yeah,
Hey,
I want to use that advantage. Of course, I want to use that advantage.
I,
I'm gonna use that
just
advantage, and I'm gonna use the fancy die.
in case it ends up mattering at all, Brendel will be surreptitiously standing back and keeping an eye out because he wants to see if anything happens with her walking over to it, with me walking over to it, and like, is there anybody keeping an eye out? Is there anybody in a window? Is there anybody like?
Just the
Okay.
same stuff you saw last night.
Okay. All right. So, did I not put fucking ranks in my skills? I'm a fucking moron, and I didn't. So
Proficiency plus intelligence.
yep, just gonna do proficiency plus intelligence, and that's fine. Okay, so that is 19. So
Cool.
I
So you
do
do
not
see
need
it.
to use my advantage, but I would. Yep. So I see it.
You do. The tiny bell with thin wiring wrapped around it.
Brendel legitimately forgot to mention that.
That's why I was like, no, just the same stuff you saw last night. Nudge, nudge. Roll for it. Because B, you're a pretty good caster, and while maybe higher level spells are something you haven't researched yet, a basic alarm spell is something you'd be very aware of. They're everywhere in the damn Blackstaff Tower.
Yeah.
And the two key components to set an alarm spell are a tiny bell and a piece of fine silver wire.
Interesting.
And you also know the alarm spell does not have to be audible, which means you can trigger it and you would never know. Just the people who said it would. And then you set the contingencies for how it's triggered. But if you had a passcode or a glyph or some type of method to pass through it, it would not trigger. But that's the first thing you clock and go, oh.
Huh. Interesting. All right. So, when you dispel an effect like that, does it alert the caster?
Oh, that depends on your role. But
Oh, I can't dispel it.
hell, I know. But
But I might be able to con a scroll off of somebody.
it theoretically, if you pass the check, it would not alert the caster.
Okay. So here's the thing. So that's an alarm spell. And the thing about magic alarms is we have no idea if it's gone off or not. And we don't know what their contingencies are. So it could be have people come by to look at this thing. It could be was somebody poking around. It could be did somebody try to open it. It could be did someone say, so that's an alarm spell? And we would have no idea. So we
So that
can
seems bad.
it's not bad, it's just a thing.
I mean, it's just on a
Like there's alarm
street here, right? It's on an alley. People
there's
might walk by things like that all the time and accidentally set them off, right?
oh
Can we
god,
tr-
yeah.
People
what if
do
we?
cut those all the time. You would know that they're only good for one use and they have to be reset. So if people are just cutting through, maybe it's not triggered by movement.
Yeah, yeah. B would relay that. Like these are extremely common in Blackstaff Tower. They're everywhere, and they're not uncommon in the city. It's not an uncommon um thing for casters to set up for security, but like it's still non-magical security systems would be way more efficient than this, just because it is
So,
one use.
so I did see that last night, but I didn't know what it was. It's possible, like, and if that whole group of people went through, and just went through this cobblestone thing and didn't set it off, then I don't. Yeah, I don't think it would have anything to do with like motion or even the opening of the door. But maybe it triggers if we open the
Well,
door
m-
wrong or open
I was
the
yeah,
passageway wrong.
maybe if you touch it and you don't know the trick.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, could it be something where they need an item to pass through?
Hey, Andy, is this
Something.
something like? Is this? Sorry.
It could be an item, a passcode. It could be attuned to a specific person. It could be attuned to uh, objects. It just depends on what you want when you cast the spell. So theoretically, like you can tell every single person here's the password, and they can say a password and then go through. They can all have funny looking rocks, key cards, whatever. It's all up to the caster's imagination.
I will say, based on what I read in the file, he's hasn't really shown any kind of proficiency in magic himself. He's so I would I don't think the person in the plague doctor mask would have set this up. So somebody's doing it for him.
So, so B, like looking at this cobblestone, like what is it, like 3 foot by 3 foot
Mhm.
thing? Can we see? She can see the outline of it, right? Or B can see the outline of it, right?
Yeah, once you point it
do,
out, it's pretty. It's not
do,
obvious, but it's like okay.
do
Now that I see it, I
okay.
can see.
I'm gonna
So do how would this thing open? How would it open? Would that bell be involved with it opening, or do you think not?
unlikely. Hold on one sec. B's gonna cast detect magic.
Okay, hell yeah. Uh, you cast detect magic. Uh, there are a couple things that you see.
My daughter has been screaming for the last hour and a half,
That is unfortunate.
on and off, but just inconsolable.
Um, when you cast detect magic, you see there is abjuration on that bell, right, which is consistent with the alarm spell. That immediately tracks. You also see there's magic on the actual cutout itself, transmutation magic.
Hmm.
Go ahead and roll Arcana if you'd like.
I would like. Mep. Uh, let's see. That's 12.
Well, that's all you need. It's not
Yeah.
that high of a spell. Um, it's consistent with signatures of a levitation spell.
Oh. Oh, well, that's easy. So they've got a levitation spell on the door. Do I see a trigger for the levitation spell?
You don't. It would that kind of spell can either be triggered manually by the caster, or again by a command word if you were to keep it in place for longer than its normal duration, which is about 10 minutes. This seems like it's been reinforced because of the strength of the magical aura, so it might be like semi-permanent.
So
Levitation, so like not a door in or down, but up to like the roof.
no, like to move the stone.
Oh, okay.
It goes down, and then that's how they put it
Uh,
back into place. Yeah, because when Brindle saw it last night, it was coming back up, right?
And it was actually going back into place.
Oh, it was going down and then into place. Okay, so Brindle does relay that. That when I saw it last night after they came through, it was settling down into place. So maybe
When
Lavinia's right.
well, you
Maybe it
heard
lifted
them.
them up,
Did you hear them?
or it went up and then they went down and then it came back down. Like either, yeah. Okay.
That was my assumption. Oh man, I'll bet if I brought Ollie over here, he would know.
Who's Ollie?
Oh, my boyfriend. Uh he's a dwarf and some of the stonemasons.
Has Brindle met Ollie and forgot about him, or did Brindle actually not know this? That's my question. I think Brindle hasn't met him.
I don't think you've met him.
Okay.
Like he's come around before, but I think Brindle keeps odd hours. And B and Ollie have day jobs. Uh um yeah. I wonder. Ooh. Here's what I'm gonna do. Here's what we can do. We can ask the Masons Guild if there's been any history of subsidence in this area, any complaints about subsidence in this area, because that would indicate that somebody was tunneling underneath buildings. And that would let us know, especially if we can get a pattern off of that, that might let us know A, if there is a tunnel, and B, where the tunnel is going.
Cool.
Now, I will say that this is a maybe. This is not super sophisticated magic, but it's magic enough that they may have shored up their shit. But that would be a relatively easy thing to just check in on.
We could also just try to set it off and see what happens.
I don't want to get stabbed today.
Yeah, don't recommend that.
I mean, look, if someone had a pry bar in their bag, you could just open this thing. But anyway, just throwing out ideas.
I'm gonna say, I don't think Brindle kept the pry bar, did he? I don't think Brindle kept it. I think he left
Probably
it
not.
at the. I think he left it at the warehouse.
Yeah. But okay, I'll do one more thing, and then I think we'll wrap here. Your idea to say, "Hey, let me go ask the guild," absolutely a good one, right? And unless somebody actually wants to try to open this thing, I'm going to flash cut you to the Masons Guild, because that's pretty close by, and B can very easily get a hold of some stuff. Talking to a very enthusiastic clerk who's like, "Oh yeah, where's the intersection? Oh, okay, yeah, let me get some schematics real quick." Just goes and like just pulls out these like comically large rolls of schematics and rolls it out. Says, yeah, if you're looking for, any type of issues with like what we're saying, like subterranean integrity, uh, oh, oh yeah, no, that's there you go. He right there. He points at the map and just says, yeah, main sewer line.
Oh, really? Going right through there?
Mm-hmm.
All right. All right.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
do we
if
have
you
a map? Do we got a map of the sewers I can borrow from you?
I can try and get you one. I don't think we have copies just for release, but I can show it to you. It's just it just takes a long time to make them. That's all.
Oh yeah, fair enough.
So, but yeah, you can take a look and like pulls out the like all of Waterdeep has a pretty elaborate sewage network, right? That basically just empties out into the harbor. These tunnels are large enough for people to get into because it's good on for maintenance and everything. However, what is not noted at that intersection, and I'm going to assume you didn't tell them about the trapdoor and everything. There's no entry or maintenance hatch there. So he's like, oh yeah, just a tunnel runs through there. Connects out to the harbor. So if you have is there a structural problem that we need to address?
No, so where's the nearest maintenance? Where's the nearest maintenance hatch to there?
Oh, where's the nearest maintenance hatch? Oh, jeez, hold on. It starts like tracing the lines on the map. Where is this in my notes? Sorry, there we are. I'm off map. Nearest maintenance hatch would actually be off of Main Street, Wallstraw Alley by Nelnook's Walk, that intersection area, middle of the street. Can't miss it. But gotta warn you, if you're gonna do work down there, make sure you get follow up all the permits because, a lot of stuff can go wrong down there.
There is no universe in which I voluntarily go wading through all of the literal shit of this city. Thank you so much.
If it helps, it's not all shit. It's also aqueducts. Okay, bye.
Oh yeah, yeah. She'll like do the niceties thing. She's not trying to be rude.
Yeah.
She's just making jokes.
Yeah. And they're happy to help out, and because you know the Mason scale schematics for everything pretty much in the city that's been built. The real question is, can they find them? Not necessarily do they have them, because it's just a lot of shit. But every building needs a permit. Every permit requires final blueprints. Allegedly, there's some things you've seen built that have just sprung up and are clearly not permitted. But that's fine. So, armed with that knowledge, the group kind of has a new, lead forward, a new idea of what you're looking at, right? This thing that Brindle found. And speaking of sewers, we'll again rotate the camera down into the aqueducts and the sewers of Waterdeep. It's quiet. Just the constant flow of water is the only real sound we hear in this otherwise damp, kind of dripping environment, right? Little walkways along the aqueducts. You see the occasional piece of trash go by, something discarded carelessly. You see a boot. Seeing pieces of maybe what looked like was an old chair at one point that had just been destroyed. See a glove. See an old can. Kind of top pried off. And we just see the body of a, slightly less garbed, but still cloaked in dark outfits. Mask and robe gone, but otherwise just floating, almost bloated through the aqueducts out towards the harbor. And from deep somewhere in the system, we just hear a voice almost echoing through these cavernous aqueducts saying, "When I say bring me something, bring me something. Failure will be punished." All right. That's it for the session.
Dookity dookity.
Yep. I'm sure it's another cold case. It'll be closed in like 2 or 3 days. It's fine. So,
Totally fine.
let's see if they even find the body. I mean, it goes straight to the harbor, and all the water deep Loch Ness monster just eats corpses.
No body, no crime.
No
We'll chase
body,
this
no
ghost
crime.
forever.
Words to live by. So
Mhm.
yeah, that was it for the session. Those of you hanging out at home, thanks for playing along with our shenanigans. I think the next thing is scheduled for the 4th, and I don't see any interruptions. So, like I said, we'll come in, we'll pan back to what Riv and B did this morning, so you have a little time to pursue your own personal investigations, which are slowly morphing into group problems. Crazy. But with that, let's do a little outro, shall we? Starting with JD.
Hey, I am JD. Tonight I have been Riv. You can find me back here tomorrow night where I will be running 'Tis the Season of Secrets and Shadows, our season 2 finale. Then we'll be on hiatus for a couple of months. You can also find me next Wednesday with The Lost Caravan and a game of 10 candles that Will has
Ooh.
promised to come by and do terrible things, namely blow out one of our candles so we die sooner. So it is going to be a great time and traumatizing and terrifying, and then I will be traumatizing and terrifying everyone next Thursday in Redacted, our second to last game of Hasmus.
Heck yeah, Della. Button.
Hi, I am Della. I have been B, and I have been making this terrible lace scarf. Uh, I
I love it.
you can find me back here next Thursday. Again, being in Redacted. You can find me here, in fact, every Thursday, either in this game or in Redacted. You can also, I think, I don't know if I'm allowed to announce what's going on the 7th, JD?
Should we wait?
God, what is going on the 7th?
I would wait for Will when he does his
Okay,
Hasmus
yeah,
game.
I'll wait for that one.
And Tessa.
Patient.
Yep.
Yeah, so I will wait on that, and yeah, that's me. I don't know, y'all. I'm tired.
Heck yeah. Bedlam.
Hello. I have been, I am Bedlam, and I have been Brindle. Brindle Fellow, a simple farmer, just trying to make his way in the city. He is adapting as best he can to the wild and fast-paced life of Waterdeep over these last couple months. Doing his best to be loyal to his family and also try and not end up in jail. So we'll see what else happens next time on the 4th.
Julia.
Hello, I'm Julia. I'm Hexwad on all social media platforms. Tonight I've been Lavinia Hale. It's been a lot of fun. This was my last game of the year with LFTA, so I will not be back until January, when I will be back for this game, Class Reunion, and Academy H, which Academy H was... We somehow have made it to the next round of the Audioverse Awards, so if you have not voted, please do vote. And anyone who has voted, we greatly appreciate you, because this is kind of unreal.
All right. And I'm Andrew. Like I said, running this game, hopefully bringing it together to something fun and awesome. I also run Veil Breakers. If you like high octane, fight nonsense with a lot of explosions and craziness, like that's the game for you, where our heroes are fighting a lich and they're pulling out all the stops to just go hard as possible. They're also very high level and have access to a god awful number of spells. And then, of course, if I'm not doing that, I'm doing C3, which is our Cryptic Community College live recording podcast. And that's fun. Good time. Anyway, that's all for me. So thank you all for hanging out. I'm going to prep a raid to go to the Lost Caravan, who is playing... I don't know this game, actually, but it looks sci-fi and very cool. So we're going to go raid them and show some love. So thanks for hanging out, and you're going to see thanks for watching the screen. Throw them a like, throw them a follow when we get over to the raid, and then if you can, hang out, and if not, I get it. It's late. but we'll be back in 2 weeks. So thank you for watching. Have a good night.
Good night, everybody.